Yar. Hey, Clacker.
Oh, hey there.
You're not gonna ask me how the weather is, or whatever.
How's the weather? How you doing?
Well, I just seemed out of character. Yar, but I had a very important question for you. What's a pirate's favorite fruit?
Oh, I don't know.
It's an orange, Clacker.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I got another question for you, Clacker.
Yeah.
What's a pirate's favorite fast food? You know, fast food.
Oh, I don't know.
The answer's Arby's, Clacker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I get it. Okay.
Hey, Clacker, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
Oh, it's R.
No, it's C, Clacker. It's the C.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
No, not O. C.
Oh.
No. Anyways, what's a pirate's favorite new crew member? I got to ask you.
Oh, see, I know this one. It's Emery R.
Yar.
Emery R.
Yar.
So bad.
Welcome back to Sanity Damage, a tabletop role-playing game actual play live show. I'm your Dungeon Master, Nathan, and joining us are Cody.
Abraham Blavatsky. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but we've got our airship, we've got our plan. A couple days' time, we'll be seeing another artifact in our hands.
Pippin.
I'm confused at this moment. You just said treasure crew, everybody except for Tor, and now I'm like, wait, he's Abraham. I'm confused.
Did I miss something? Am I not supposed to be here, everybody?
Emperor Tor.
Moriarty. Who's ready for some ASM Moriarty?
Ellen.
Penelope Whitlock, or Celine the Star Child. Did Savannah happen to see that really, really cool move I did at the end of this last battle? No? Okay.
Maggie.
Well, they call me Finn, but I hear there's gonna be another person around these parts soon.
And Alex.
Orf, and Clacker Vokson. It's like a buddy cop movie where they, fold arms against each other and stand back to back and look mad, and they're shoving each other, and then they're
Narrating.
Sorry, everybody. I just got back from the green room from the shout-out room. Am I late?
Nice. Join us on episode 83 of our first campaign, To Whom the Sea Belongs. I'll mention this again at break.
C, Clacker.
I'll mention this again at break, but stay tuned to the end of this stream or to the end of next week's episode if you're listening in podcast form for some important updates about the show. As for last week or last time on the show, having inaugurated Tor, the Emperor of Shikyodai, you corresponded with the other party members to plan your next moves. But let's take a minute and find out what the other party has been up to. After Jack Rackman gave a rousing speech in the wake of the boat of Sankuriang being destroyed, the party finds themselves in the midst of a powerful supernatural storm on Sankuriang's lake. I would assume at this point that you're planning to... oops, we lost Cody again. We're likely to have more As I was saying, I'm not sure if my sorry for the technical issues message even picked up. So sorry for the technical issues. There will probably be more. We've been having some weird things going on with Streamlabs on like the back end. So hopefully
I
it will
can't
be
get my
smooth sailing.
Streamlabs
But
to work.
It's this heat. It's the heat.
It's the heat.
yeah, maybe it's just Azathoth waking up and like ruining the streaming service. But whatever the
Streaming
case,
fabric.
exactly. Whatever the case, thanks for hanging out with us and bearing with us. So what I was saying back in the story, I'm assuming that your next move is to return to Yurikanoa, the capital of Kelwaruma, and begin sailing probably for one of the other artifacts. At this point in the narrative, you're about 10 days behind the other party, so you haven't started the correspondence that we went over last time we recorded together.
I see. All right. So we don't know whatever cockamamie bullshit they're up to.
Right.
No, we're just left to our own cockamamie bullshit.
Which I think entails we need to get back to town. Start getting the rest of the crew we need for this big new boat. And getting some tattoos.
Yeah, I am really excited for the tattoos. I'm really excited to see, maybe show off those tattoos a little bit.
I'm glad my speech inspired you all so much.
Yeah, can you summarize it?
You want me to summarize the speech I just went
Yeah.
over? All right, but I guess it has been a while.
Yeah, it's
since
been
I
about
said
5 minutes.
it went something along the lines of, hark ye mateys, the sea is a rugged place, but we are rugged men and lady. And the mind flayers might have the upper hand at the moment, but we're gonna tie their hands with a fucking sailor's knot and spank them with the totem.
Oh.
I don't remember what I said. It's been a while. Something like that.
Cloud gives away a tear. It's beautiful.
Should we go? It's been a long night.
Well, it's
No,
good
no,
for
no.
the bodies of those mind flayers and that weird security fellow over there. And
But, in all seriousness, it was something along the lines of, we don't need every artifact if we just stop them from starting the world storm entirely.
Can I make like an Arcana check to figure out what's going on with this magical storm?
Sure.
it's partial.
Arcana or religion. It is a partial world storm. You can surmise that. With an 8, you're not going to surmise much more than this is like. You know how before there are hurricanes, there are tropical storms. This is like the tropical storm to the world storm.
Okay, so this
What's the
isn't
world
like
storm's name?
the Sandy.
World Storm Sandy.
So specific.
Just
Oh,
do
we've
the
had bad luck
ABCs of
with silt.
Cthulhu.
A lot of bad luck with silt.
Yeah, we might need to get on with it. This might not be the big bad storm, but World Storm Sandy is gonna pack a punch here pretty soon.
All right. Well, as you,
You've convinced me.
I believe it was about a 3-day journey in to get to the or not 3-day, was it?
no, it was like a.
Yeah.
It was
we
like
left
a
in the
1 day.
afternoon and we had
Yeah.
to stop in the night. and then
Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, it was like a one day or like an 8-hour travel deal. Yeah, so you begin your way back. If I honestly don't remember what kind of like health you're all looking at, but if you want to
Half
take a
health.
rest, take a long rest or a short rest, you're certainly free to do so. Even back at the abandoned hut where you were previously.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
place.
yeah.
A real great place to hang out for.
Oh, I wonder
Let's
if my
just go-
friend came back.
Yeah, let's just go sleep in there too while we're at it. Actually,
Yeah. I mean, only where the memories of sorrow tried to eat you. It'll be fine. Whether it's there or in a random cave, feel free to do whatever you need to with your health. You can, basically, you can successfully long rest at some point in this
sure.
this journey.
Cool.
Now, on your way back, Moriarty, could I get a perception check from you?
All right. Do-do-do.
This effect is trippy as hell.
I thought it was like a rave at first before when we loaded in.
Oof.
Oof.
Fudge.
Okay. As you're all walking back, you're heading towards Yurikanoa, and Celine, you're the most like naturey, so I'll ask a perception check from you as well.
A perception. Hold on. I'm gonna roll my portents really quickly.
Okay. 2 and 12.
2 and 12, and a nature check.
Yeah, actually, nature is fine. I asked perception, but you can use whichever one is better.
Oh, let me double check. I think it's gonna be nature because
Wow.
actually my perception's better.
I would have used nature.
My perception's better though,
You're right.
and I
It is.
crit on it for a 28.
Okay. Celine, you notice some tracks in the mud. Everything is mud now. There's been so much rain in the past few hours.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice some tracks that look almost bearish. Something between a bear and a humanoid. That are, just kind of pressed in the mud. They look fairly fresh, walking not necessarily directly towards Yurikanoa, but your path and their path continue in the same direction for a short time before it veers off, going a different direction.
Whenever I notice them, I'm gonna do the thing where I just go, shh, and I hold up my hand to like stop everybody, and I lean down, and I like really examine the muddy footprints, and then I get some of the mud in my fingertips, and I like rub it to feel like the makeup, and I smell it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what these are, but they seem to be some sort of humanoid bear. So be on the lookout for a bear on 2 legs. And then I do like the motion forward with my hands.
Celine the commando.
Yeah.
Now, having pointed that out to the party, Pippin, did you say your nature is better than your perception?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Okay. I swear, if it botches too.
Hey.
Hey.
See what I say? It is better.
Moriarty immediately recognizes these footprints as troll footprints.
Troll.
Oh. In the forest.
That's what
It's
you
better
usually do
than
to
in the
us,
dungeon.
Nathan. Haha.
But
All right.
everybody, I think there's a troll around here or something. It's not really a bear.
Or a humanoid bear.
What do I know about trolls? We've never encountered one in this game. Is it common knowledge that they don't like fire?
Give me a history or nature check. Anyone who wants to.
I can
History
do
or
nature.
Man, you're handing out a lot of skills tonight that I
You really are.
I think nature would probably be as good as anything. 12. Got a mighty 12.
That 25 though.
That's a 25 for me. I am rolling hot.
I only got
Yeah.
14.
Celine, it actually makes a ton of sense that Celine is the one to know this, given her background as like a forest child. Yeah, Celine would know that they're vulnerable to fire. They have an aversion to fire. Celine would also know that they otherwise regenerate, making them very difficult to kill.
Oh, have y'all ever dealt with a beastie that can regenerate its limbs? That's what trolls do, and they don't like fire, so have your fire at ready.
I don't think I've ever fought one, but I've heard tale from those other guys, the Mind Flayer team, that they fought hydras. I think they do that, but I don't think we've personally fought anything like that.
Oh, I heard they didn't.
I have fire.
They didn't really fight the Hydra, so to speak. I think they just
That's
kind
not the
of.
way the Abraham guy tells it.
They just kind of trapped it.
He says that it was a mighty struggle against 2 hydras. Anywho, I do have fire capabilities.
I have Wall of Fire prepped and ready to go. So worst comes to worst, we'll just put it in a literal ring of fire.
Yeah, I mean, you can continue on your journey. You're on high alert, so as you push through the forest, you get into thinner trees as you get closer to the rolling hills outside of Kelruma, but you're still you're still in the forest. There's just not the dense like jungle kind of undergrowth.
Okay.
When you do see the troll ahead of you, it is wearing a vest and like tattered blue trousers, and it's got like a wood chopping axe over its shoulder, and it's whistling and just walking. It doesn't appear to have noticed you.
Should we hide? Or should we trap it in a wall of fire? Thoughts?
Did we short rest or long rest or whatever?
Long rest.
We long rested.
Well, then I'm feeling fairly confident.
But also he appears just to just be minding his own P's and Q's.
I mean, I hate to be the person who sounds like the really bad guy, worse, 1,000-tooth tome level, but there was a plan that did involve a troll.
Oh my god, are you really going to talk to me about that? That plan is pure evil, Moriarty. I don't know if I can
mean, to
condone
be
it.
fair, trolls aren't exactly lawful good themselves,
Right, I'd rather just, if we're going to judge it, I'd rather just annihilate it.
Celine is going. I don't have any of those spells prepped. Like,
Are you sure? I mean, how often are we going to come across the troll? If we're going to do it, we should probably do it.
I
I'm
think
not
Celine's
going
just
to
gonna.
make any executive call on this. If the team wants a troll-powered blood cannon, I mean, I see the logic, but I feel like at some point we got to ask ourselves: are we just as bad as the foe that we're going against? If we're willing to stoop to these measures.
I think Celine is gonna step out from whatever underbrush they're like whispering in, and just raise her hand up and say, hello, troll friend. Are you by any chance evil or nefarious?
The troll whirls around and like looks at you. It's startled. It was whistling. You disrupted its tune, and it looks at you, Celine, and it says, "Oi, what are you doing in my forest?"
It's a very long story. But we are just trying to get back to the city.
Be on your way then. It's no concern of mine.
Okay. My name is Celine. Nice to make your acquaintance, Mr.
My name's Jeru. I'm not sure why that's any concern of yours. You're just going to the city.
Yeah, totally. You notice anything weird in the forest as of late? Like, maybe some memories of despair trying to devour your soul?
He hefts his axe. What are you on about?
Nothing.
Are you a
Bad
hag?
dream.
You seem like you might be a hag.
No, I am not a hag.
See,
These are hag activities.
I'm
The
just gonna
troll
go out
points up
there
at the
and-
sky overhead and says, I mean, that's unusual. It's making me feel kind of despairing and scared and everything, like the nightmarish clouds in the sky overhead.
But you just live in the forest and just mind your own business.
Yeah, make some earwax candles now and then.
Oh, I would love to maybe take some off of your hand. I'd pay handsomely, of course. But they might be helpful in some of my little spells and rituals.
He just looks at you completely dumbfounded. Like you get the sense he is completely unfamiliar with this this kind of interaction.
Okay,
Very
bye.
solitary.
I'll just head on out of your forest. You don't happen to have a donkey, friend?
Why you looking to like you want some food? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I just you look like you might be lonely.
Do you have a donkey you want to sell me?
No.
What's the point of asking me?
Oh, just curious is all. Well, thank you, Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Right then, and he like waves at you. Go ahead, go on, get out of my forest. He just turns and starts walking away.
I mean, if we wanted to capture him for a bow, I wouldn't mind.
I look at Moriarty and Clacker. I don't know about it. To me, it seems pretty sketch.
Yeah, that a little brutal. Like, if he wanted to like sail with us, I mean, I wouldn't mind him.
Right, and if he voluntarily strapped himself to the blood cannon,
Right.
Sir,
you know.
excuse me, sir. Would you?
Oh, there's more of you.
Would you
Oh.
be interested in being a cannon engine operator?
Cannon operator? You mean making things go boom?
Pretty much, yes. You'd be you'd be the lifeblood of the machine.
I mean, I like the sound of that. Why? What's in it for me though? Besides making things go boom.
I mean, would you want money or do you want livestock? I don't exactly know what you're particularly looking for in this deal.
He kind of lumbers over a little bit closer and sets his axe down. He's a big troll, right? Thinking through the party, Clacker's pretty big. He's maybe Clacker's height, but not Clacker's like weight. You know, he's more of a lightweight. Kind of gangly. He's got a mane of mossy green like hair, and otherwise like kind of green scaly looking skin. Well, as for what I'd want, I don't know. I mean, this storm was really intense. I am not loving it. You want me to operate a cannon? I imagine you're going to be attacking people, so maybe like a cut of treasure or something.
A cut could work. I mean, I suppose so.
All right, may as well. Never been off this island. Never really been out of this forest. No time like the present to see the world. Get out of this storm. Let it calm down a little bit before I come back.
No, it's quite a coincidence. We just so happened to get a bunch of contract paper on the ship we just got. But nice to have you. What can we call you?
Jeru.
Jerry?
Sailor
Jeru?
Jerry.
Sailor Jerry. That has a nice ring to it, eh?
Jeru, but whatever.
Jeru.
Jeru. Do you mind if we call you Jerry?
Guess not.
I like you, Jeru. You're cool.
So you're headed to town then? I guess I'll follow you.
Yeah, we have an appointment to get some tattoos, and then we have a big ship, and we kind of gonna head out of here.
Yar.
Right, may as well join.
Is the
Do you have any tattoos?
Oh, no.
Do you
Not-
want to get a matching tattoo with me?
I can try, but things don't really stick with me,
Oh,
given my, I'm a troll.
the regeneration thing.
Are you sure you just wouldn't have a finished tattoo a lot faster than the rest of us?
We can go find out.
Yar.
Fair enough.
Do you need to collect any belongings, or can we just go?
Oh, that's pretty much all I got.
All right, excellent. Well, let us be off then. Nelton, you can come out of the bush. He's not going to eat you.
Okay, I mean, he is pretty big. But alright, if you say so.
Why are you scared of him when I literally just beat an elephant and multiple other things right in front of
You know, that is a great point. You raise a very good point.
Thank you. I mean, you made me feel like you didn't trust me anymore.
No, I know you'll keep us all safe, Moriarty.
Arr. Well, let's get marching then.
All right, let's let me find the region map here real quick, and we will kind of montage forward to the tattoo parlor.
Nice.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, now these like happy looking little puffy clouds are actually raging world storm clouds,
Oh.
but aside from that, this gives you a nice kind of overhead of Yurikanoa.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So,
So,
here's
back-
the lake where we were.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the town.
Yeah, there. Okay, so it was like an 8-hour walk to get back,
Mm-hmm.
plus a long rest. Yeah, so I mean, you get back to the town, and people are noticeably like on edge, so much so that they don't even notice that you're bringing a troll into town. They are, they keep glancing furtively at the sky. You get the sense that just geographically, this is the kind of area that is not a stranger to a hurricane, but that doesn't mean that pulsating fluorescent lights in clouds don't turn eyes. People are freaked out.
Right.
That's fair.
Let me find the tattoo artist real quick. I gave you all access to the tattoo item options and pricing and everything that's in your Treasure Crew folder, so you can kind of peruse that for what you would like. As you enter the tattoo parlor, the old woman who you spoke with I guess it was just like a couple days ago, is happy to see you again.
It's good to see that you're still alive, given everything that's happened in the skies and the seas. You're back for your tattoos now, I take it?
Oh yes. Had some time to think about it. Thank you for agreeing to stick us.
Oh, certainly.
The tattoo artist has a little like chisel dipped with ink and is currently working on just gently tapping it with a hammer to apply the ink to a client that is getting a tattoo currently. And sorry if I'm putting you on the spot a little too much, Maggie, but can you describe where and what the tattoo is and who the client is?
Sure. So this tattoo is probably going to be on her like forearm, or like left arm inside. And the client is a sort of medium build, pretty attractive young Coral Ganassi in her early 20s. She's got dark, sort of think like sapphire blue skin, and her hair is kind of unique. It's sort of like grows out in this almost like ombre naturally, but in very unnatural colors. So it kind of starts very pink close to her scalp and then becomes sort of a teal and then becomes this sort of green toward the ends. And it doesn't seem to be dyed. Like if you get close, like you can tell when someone's hair is dyed. If you get close to hers, it doesn't seem to be dyed. Like this seems to be natural. So she is dressed pretty stylishly, almost a little too stylishly. She looks very much like she's dressed to travel. And she already does have a number of other tattoos and piercings. And up close, you can tell she's got a little bit of like an X-shaped scar right at her hairline on the right side. But this tattoo is on her arm, like I said, and is going to be sort of coiling up her arm. Oh, it's okay. That's, every so once in a while, just that little bit of a scratch.
Oh, I know, dearie. Sometimes they really get you right in the nerve. You're taking it well, though. Almost done. Almost done.
It's clearly not my first rodeo.
And I'll be right with you, lad. Once I'm done with this young lady here. Make yourself comfortable.
No worries. Take your time. Okay. Do you have any like magazines or any sort of reading material?
Could you roll a d20 for me?
Yeah. I didn't mean to roll 2d20. I meant 1d20. An 11.
There is a 6-month-old issue of Tea and Honey Quarterly.
Ooh.
It has a shirtless human, very ripped, on the cover. And the title is Tea for the Dudes of the Sea, an exclusive interview with Channing.
Ooh. Celine is definitely reading it for the articles and not the pictures.
Right. There's on the front cover, there's also a very small kind of like a side picture of Clacker.
Oh, Clacker? Is this your friend? And I hold up the magazine.
I just look at the picture of me. I go, oh yeah, I look good there, don't I?
Yes, very good. Who was you know this gentleman, the shirtless gentleman?
No. And then Clacker's gonna kind of mutter something about the store being too cheap to afford the latest issue of Quarterly.
All right. Well, as Maggie's character, did you say your name? I don't want to jump the gun on you.
Oh, I did not. She would introduce herself as Nim, but some other people might know her as Anemone LeBeau.
Perfect. So as Anemone gets her own tattoos finished up, Bathari, the tattoo artist, will, in sequence, give each of you a tattoo. So, I'm not gonna roleplay the process of each of you like sitting down and like picking the spot and everything, but I'll have you each roll initiative, and then in that order we'll describe what the appearance of the tattoo is and what the effect is for you.
Oh, there's no combat encounter.
No.
So
Okay, I'll just
we all
do
just
it
roll a
manually. Plus our initiative mod?
Sorry, I misunderstood. There we go. Now there's a combat encounter.
Wait, we can only choose one tattoo.
I mean,
You
if
can
we have
choose
the money,
multiple
can we
tattoos.
Okay.
Yes, if you have the
Damn,
money.
you're gonna get full body tattoo.
I could roll all my money and get 3 tattoos. I'm thinking about it.
Selena's eager.
Celine is ready to use her deposit.
Mhm.
Well, now that I have to check my money versus how many tats I can get.
Yeah, so if you want additional aesthetic tattoos, those are a lot cheaper. The magical ones, the prices are listed there, but aesthetic ones would be like 100 per, forearm, upper arm, like section of your body. So I'm assuming Selena's going to be going first. So Ellen, you can go ahead and
Okay.
expound on what you're doing.
Yes, let me pull up the journal entry so I can say what this the tattoo I'm choosing does. But so Celine is gonna get some finger tats. She's gonna get some like stars and constellations on her different fingers. So like when she's spell casting, because I imagine her spell casting to be very doing hand motions and very finger dexy. When she moves her fingers in certain ways, it's going to look like different constellations as she's casting. But the tattoo effect that I picked is Ghost Step, a wondrous tattoo item.
Nice.
Ghostly form. The tattoo has 3 charges, and it regains all expended charges daily at dawn. As a bonus action, while the tattoo is on your skin, you can expel 1 of the charges to become incorporeal until the end of your next turn. So basically, I go in ghost. I can be.
Perfect.
I can't be hit. I can't be, or I have resistance to bludgeoning, any kind of physical, non-magical attacks. Can't be grappled or restrained, and I can go through walls and stuff.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Awesome.
It's a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
It is 6K.
Yeah. I also want to get like just more like on the back of her neck, some more constellations kind of going down her spine as like an aesthetic tattoo. But the magical tattoo is going to be her fingers.
Perfect. How about Moriarty?
Moriarty is going to. He's going to be getting what's called a Blood Fury tattoo. Which...
Oh my god.
But it is different in this version. I have to pay for the amount of charges. It's 2,000 per charge.
Oh no.
So I
To a maximum of 10.
Don't say
Alright.
that part wasn't. That part was not mentioned. Just putting that out there. Put it out there.
I've seen this tattoo do some fucking work. That's all I can say.
Smoosh slow.
Now, am I against having it on the team? Hell no. I would love for Moriarty to have that tattoo.
I'm gonna spend. Let's see, 14,000 on it.
I love just watching the document.
So I
update in
get
real
7
time.
charges.
7 charges. Okay.
And what this tattoo does for anybody that's not ever seen the Blood Fury tattoo. It regains all of its charges at dawn. When you hit a creature with an attack, you can expend a charge to deal an extra 4d6 necrotic damage to the target, and I regain that number of hit points equal to the necrotic damage dealt.
It can be quite devastating.
It can be devastating, and for such sustain, it can be quite the nice thing.
It does.
Which I would have been so much more comfortable in that Securian fight by myself if I had such a tattoo. Right. And as its second
But it's
thing,
like you always say, you know, you give us this shit because we're gonna have to fight some crazy shit. So
right,
Exactly.
and the second part of it is when a creature you see damages you, you can expend a charge and use your reaction to make a melee attack against that creature with advantage on my roll.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
You can already basically do that anyway, but now
Yeah.
you have
Well,
another.
instead of like it having to leave my zone or
Yeah.
enter my zone,
Right.
Yeah.
How about Clacker? Blowhole tramp stamp, right?
I can see.
Blowhole
Oh,
tramp stamp
God.
sounds like a punk band.
That really does.
So the Blood Fury, is that 2,000 per charge?
Yes.
Yes.
To a maximum of 10. Apparently.
So I got 7 charts. It's expensive, I know, right?
It's pretty fucking worth it, dude.
I know.
I've seen it fucking wreck shit.
For those that don't play in our Tip Tap game, I use this on my character in that game.
Yeah, and I'm the DM of it. Well,
I mean-
sometimes.
It wouldn't work against a creature immune to necrotic damage, right?
This is
No?
true.
Yeah,
It
I'm
doesn't.
comfortable with this.
It does work on stuff that is.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man. I've seen him come up with some pretty crazy creative uses for it. I remember... we don't have to talk about it right now.
This is like the side chatter
Apologize,
while
but-
Clacker is getting his ink job done.
Yeah.
I heard tales of a Tip Top where this happened.
What is a tip top?
A short
It's a
version
shop
of
in West Annika. Tip-top shop.
Oh, weird. What do they
As
sell?
you're all chattering about that, Anemone would actually clock that conversation because she was once a like child model for different like toys that the Tip Top shop was promoting.
Child model.
Child model.
Oh.
Child actor, whatever you call that.
Spokesperson.
Spokesperson, representative.
She's not done the
A brand partner.
definitely.
Influencer.
Influencer. Yeah.
I remember Tip Top Shop back in West Annika. They used to cart me around those all the time, up and down the coast.
Oh, cool. And Celine's gonna like give her like a thumbs up and is like, why is she betting in our conversations?
I think it's just polite to, acknowledge.
We're sitting 3 feet apart from each
Yeah,
other,
we're
darling.
pretty
It's kind of
close.
hard not
Oh.
to hear you.
Sorry, you know, it's been a long week.
I can
this
tell.
moment, dude, it's one of those foot insert mouth. Or is it mouth insert foot?
I
Our
don't
crew
know.
is coming off of life is a series of peaks and valleys, and right now we're in one of those valleys. But we're getting these tattoos as a little treat for ourselves.
Listen,
I mean, we put down the deposit for the tattoos before we hit the valley.
It was supposed to be a celebration, but it
It-
is what it is.
It's
Seems
the
you can
con-
say it's my new
life crisis. Nelton looks up from the Tea and Honey quarterly issue.
well, he's
if
precious.
Nelton's. Yes, he's very good. Party member.
Good with the ladies,
Sure.
right, Celine?
They really dig my scar, and he just like moves his chin up so that Anemone gets a clear view of the like
Oh.
where his neck was completely slit.
I can see why.
Yeah,
No.
I died.
Yarr, he's a badass. Don't fuck with him.
He's a born again hero.
That's right.
So you're in a bit of a valley, but you're here because you put a deposit down on your tattoos. So
Sure.
appreciate the follow through, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what is? Does that tattoo have any special meaning? Is that rude? Is that rude to ask?
I don't necessarily think so.
I mean, I guess, just sort of is a new chapter in my life. That's all.
Oh,
Been sort of stuck in my own kind of valley for a while, then trying to get out of.
if you're looking for work, we might be needing a cannon operator.
I
I thought that was my job.
Yarr.
Oh, sorry, Jeru. An assistant cannon operator.
Well, we're gonna be needing a new crew regardless.
I've never operated a cannon before, but I wouldn't be opposed to learning, and I certainly could at least probably do some other things. Crew membery, I don't know. It's sort of all new for me, but I am trying to get somewhere. Sorry.
Somewhere and then roll.
Somewhere and then roll. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh, Taiyang. I'm trying to get to Taiyang. The name just like totally blanked on me.
Are we needing to go to Taiyang? Aren't they at war with West Annika?
Yarr.
To be fair, I think tying is basically at war with everybody.
Yarr.
I mean, good luck. We
I realize-
we might be
I'm in
traveling.
no rush, but it would be nice. And at the very least, I mean, y'all seem like reasonable, normal folks. And that's really
I'm
all
glad-
somebody can ask for, right?
I'm glad that we seem that way. And Celine's gonna look at her party at Nelton with his big scar, and then Jack, who's like half a fish man, and Clacker, who has something sticking out of his blowhole, and Moriarty, who has Pop Boy on his back, and Jeru, who's just like a troll.
I've learned anything in my life, it's that sometimes the worst people are the shiniest ones. So y'all seem pretty reasonable.
How's Clacker's tattoo coming while this
Right.
conversation is happening?
Ooh.
Ooh.
That gave me some time to think. I was just letting the riff go. I was like, let's see how this pans out. I like this. All right, so his first tattoo. I'm also going to get the Blood Fury tattoo. I'm going to get 4 charges of that.
Very
That's going to be my little blowhole tramp stamp. It's gonna be text that wraps around my blowhole. It's gonna say "insert horn here."
Wow. Okay.
And then my second tattoo. Now, this is where I need some input from all of y'all. Should I get 1 charge of counterspell or 3 charges of silvery barbs?
Ooh.
I already have a charge of counterspell I can use on my magic item, but this would be a spell slot that I could use counterspell on as well. So I'd have 2 charges of counterspell overall, or I could get 3 of silvery barbs.
That is a
Let me double check my spells, because I know I don't have silvery barbs.
it's a good one for you.
It's a good one to have.
Yeah.
I also have my portents though, but I don't have anything to like dispel.
I was trying to leave the game because of silvery barbs, but it just
I
ended
had a
up looking
feeling.
like tech issues. Yeah, you can get either one of those.
Yep. They're the same price.
No, I can
I have dispel magic. So it's up to you. I
I'll do silvery barbs. That's always a fun one. We love silvery barbs in this
we love
house.
silvery barbs. House of silvery
In this
barbs.
house.
Um,
This house, we love silvery barbs. Counterspell.
counterspell.
Now, in that forest, there was a certain person who did not like the silvery barbs. But that's
And,
not in this
side
house.
And the so my this is the spell scribe tattoo that I'm getting, which you get a number of charges that you may use to cast one spell, which you choose when you get this tattoo. Yeah, it's either like a cantrip or a first level spell, second level spell, or a third level spell, and it's from the wizard spell list. And that is going to be a little knuckle tattoo, and it's gonna have on like the pinkies. There's gonna be like little tea leaves, and then on the inside fingers, it's gonna say hot tea.
Wait, so you have to separate your fingers to do this?
Yes, so they can see my fingers and not
Okay.
just my for the first time.
Character
that I have
development.
fingers.
And is Jack getting anything?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to get that ghost step tattoo. If I was more melee, I would definitely be getting a Blood Fury tattoo too. But I can't justify it. Jack's not really a melee guy. Now,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
that might swing it into melee mode a little bit, but I don't know if it's worth it to rethink my build at this stage in my life.
Well, that's why I chose it, because I was like, it helps me to like get in and get out if I have
Get
to.
in, get out.
Get
And
in, get
the
out.
thing that's like really good, that's like secret OP, is the thing that like says that you can't be restrained.
Yeah.
You know how many times that I've been like restrained? And
I
that's
feel-
been like the only thing that's screwing me. You know how many spells are like hold monster or hold person? It's like you're restrained. Not me, baby. I'm a ghost.
Going ghost.
Jeru is not going to get a tattoo,
What?
but
I'd pay
Nelton-
for him to get a
Yeah,
tattoo.
experiment.
Yeah.
He will if someone else pays. He just has no money.
Wow. I think Jack's tattoo is obviously going to be of Yold.
Nice. Just like a stylistic moose head.
Yeah, I'm thinking like on a chest tattoo with a moose head, and like maybe where like one of the like random lightning paths on my body comes up. That's like where one of his eyes is, so it looks like he's
Nice.
like shooting the lightning out.
Uh-huh. Awesome.
I'm sure
I
everybody's
actually
super
see what
thrilled
mine
about
is.
that, but
Is it like Yold, and then is there like some sort of like numbers under it? Like, I don't know how Bible verses work. I'm sorry.
Yontor 352.
Yeah.
And then Yontor said, "Are you guys ever gonna help me with these wolves?"
God.
And Jack spake unto thee. No.
No.
That might be the funniest thing we've ever said on this podcast.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Well, let's see. If you're willing to pay 2,000 gold pieces for your troll friend, he'll get a coiling grasp tattoo.
Ooh.
I'd put in 500.
Sure. Wait till he sees the blood cannon, you know. He'll
That's
see
the
why
one that
we're...
I was getting. He and I will be twins.
There you go.
Oh, is everyone have a tattoo buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Nelton is going to get 2 tattoos out of his own cut of treasure that he's been amassing.
Come on, Nelton.
I mean, you got to spend it.
What are
Yeah.
you getting, Nelton? Yar.
I'm going to get a life well tattoo so that I don't die again.
Are you gonna get it like a neck tattoo?
Yeah, it's a neck tattoo, and it's gonna be like the little circle with the line through it, signifying like the nope sign, just over and over.
It's gonna look awesome. And then he is also going to get a Blood Fury tattoo.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just like a full sleeve of various like predatory mammals. And he's gonna get it for only 2 charges. So he spends a total of 8,000 gold.
Nice. Fair
I have
enough.
to say, from first meeting Nelson, I never thought he would be where he is now.
You know,
I
I
love this.
absolutely didn't either.
From when we tricked him, well, I was more of a double trick.
Fish
He
bucket
he,
wine.
He sold us a map that he, didn't care about for a bucket of fish wine.
That's right. That's right. You know, there are NPCs that I plan. There are NPCs that I make up on the spot. I literally made him up on the spot, and here he is.
He's
Back
living a
from
dream,
death.
is what I heard.
Yes.
This fucking tattoo lady had made out like a king today.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she could retire.
Oh, I already could have. I love doing this. I love the art of it.
So you charge people? Not that I'm saying we shouldn't pay our artists.
I'm sure
Well-
there's material components involved.
Exactly, right. I've
Okay.
in order for me to keep the business open, like I could retire. I'd rather source the inks and continue doing this.
Okay, fair play.
I was gonna say, I think for our tattoos, a good portion of this money just goes to the material costs.
Right. All right, so that's your tattoos. Those have been acquired. Again,
Sweet.
the world storm is raging outside. You probably saw as you were walking through. So, like heading to the tattoo shop, and now that you're like coming out of the parlor, the seagulls are squalling. Wind is ripping across the ocean. You see huge like whitecaps breaking in the waves. You see the Stormbreaker and the Debtor's Penance bobbing violently in the waves. It appears they've both sustained some damage just from being in the harbor because of how intense the storm is.
We didn't decide if we're gonna tow the ship continuously or sell the, our own
The
ship.
other ship, or we could have an armada and have 2 crews.
Yar, I like that idea.
Right. I believe the Stormbreaker has an enhancement on its hull with living coral where it like repairs itself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean it's still sustained damage, but like obviously that's a good investment for stormy waters.
And while we are on land, I picked up a new trick in the spell book where we can transport via the plants if I find a big plant.
Very nice.
Fun.
I feel like, we could have made use of the woods we were in if we needed a big plant. Maybe we
Well,
could have brought something back.
Yes, I have to be
Huge.
intimately familiar with whatever tree we're going into, so it can only really be places that we've already been.
It was more the getting back part.
Oh, that's fair.
Wow.
So I mean that's great. You can come back to Yurikanoa whenever, or to any any forest or plant area that Penelope, or I'm sorry, that Celine has been to.
So
Who?
How,
The little one and with the other people?
Yeah, that Celine has been to. Which at this point would be Yurikanoa,
I can go
Pinterhow.
Back to my timeshare anytime.
Kalaruma.
That's
Arrow.
right. Yeah, use like a kelp forest to get close to that, and the whole like northern area, Arrowhav, Reniana, Dagharal.
Arcathians. I can go there. So interesting. If I remember, if there's a tree that I remember that's still there, like
Yeah, I imagine so. I
years
didn't remember
later.
that you had been there, but yeah, if that's like part of your backstory, then yes, you can go there. All right. Is there anything else that you all need to tend to in town before getting your boats ready, getting a crew together?
I was gonna say, no, just like talking to our crew and see how the crew gathering has gone. But
Is Savannah around?
Savannah is around.
I'm
So
not
you're-
gonna.
Let
Go ahead.
me set the scene real quick. So you come down to the wharf where the two boats, the two ships are moored. Savannah is around. Her own small crew is around. Hudson and Nagish are both there, and Hudson looks quite a bit better when he sees you all coming. He weighs you down and he says, "Oi, Jack, Moriarty, Clacker, and I'm sorry, I don't believe I ever actually got your name. I'm not sure. The ships have been battered, but I've been doing the best I can to kind of keep them together."
Your excellent work. I appreciate it. You should be
Thanks.
resting, though. You shouldn't be worrying about it.
Well,
You're
I've
looking
been
good,
told.
though.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, I've been told the more I exercise my new appendages, the sooner I'll get used to them. And he holds up a hook hand.
Be more pirate, as they say.
I suppose that's what they say. And he stands up on a peg leg.
Okay. Do you want me to take your eye out while we're at it?
Is that some kind of cruel joke? Thousand Tooth Tom already did that. And he pulls his hair back and you see an eye patch.
Oh boy. Well, we're gonna need to get you some sort of a bandana.
I suppose so. Or Captain's Tricorn.
Maybe we can get a discount on one of those Blavatskys.
Oh, a
Family
Blavatsky.
makes those.
Yeah, those have always been really kind of highfalutin for me. But I suppose if I'm to be a captain, dress the part, right? Well-
Yeah, they say dress for the job you won, not for the job you got.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess let's fix up the debtor's penance. I never thought I'd say that, and sail out of here. Time is money, as they say, and the mind flayers are always one step ahead.
Oh, yes, we have some news to report on our mission. That's not the best news we've ever heard. We also have found 2 new crew members. Everyone say hello to Drew and Nim. Nim. This is Nim.
All right, everyone. I'm going to need to say welcome aboard. 3, 2, 1. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
All right.
Savannah, have you been able to recruit any new crew while we were in the forest?
Oh, yeah, I have. The crew's pretty much ready to go. We've got some good deckhands here. They're freaked out about the storm. Do you know what that's about? You got the item and everything, right?
You're so cute. I kind of lost my train of thought there. That's the bad news that we had to report. The good news is we found the item. The bad news is the mind flares burnt it to turn into a magical storm.
Yarr.
You found the item and the mind flares burned. That same item, the one that you were trying to find.
Yarr.
Yes.
If it makes you feel any better, I think You know, we did kill one of them for it or whatever, but...
Well, what's the point of sailing into certain death if the item is gone, right? I mean, the whole point was to collect the items, wasn't it?
Yes, we don't have a plan per se, but Jack did give a very inspiring speech about.
Oh well, great. Tell that to
There's
Mind
more
Players.
items out
That'll
there.
call them all off. Jack gave an
Why
inspiring
don't you
speech.
go take a hike? It sounds like you don't want to be a part of saving the world.
Jack, Savannah, that was we can't save the world if we can't work together. So time is of the utmost importance. We can't let them get their hands on any more items.
Right.
We should probably talk to the other crew. Last time, the girl popped in my head. They had lost their ship or something. I don't remember. Maybe they have a plan, but we will have time to formulate a new plan. The most important thing is that the Mindfulness don't get any more of these items. It seems to be what's powering the world storm.
Correct, right.
Savannah listens to all of this and she just kind of nods at you, Celine. She says, well, all right, Celine, so what's the play now? Where are we sailing next?
Yeah, where are we going, Celine?
I let me consult with my charts, and she's just gonna start looking at all her like scraps of like notes in pictures of constellations and wherever she happens to have them scrawled or like embroidered into things, and she's gonna kind of spread them out. Yeah, she has constellations embroidered on her dress and bits of fabric when she ran out of paper. Okay. Nathan, do I get any information from studying my star charts?
Information as to what? Like,
What where we should go next?
Your two most obvious options would be Bagudaga and Taiyang. Bagudaga, you would know from your from previous legend lores that you've cast that that was the Jade Emperor's jewel, which you already possess.
Okay, so we Taiyang would be our next. It appears that Taiyang would be the closest.
Very well.
I'm not sure if how we get ourselves into Taiyang's waters. It appears they are not very friendly, and
we have a
Nim
crew member. Yeah.
Nim needed to go to Taiyang anyways.
I have an idea on how to get into Taiyang.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, we have the boat of Thousand Tooth Tom, who basically owns people everywhere, By own, I mean, has blackmail and everything on anybody. We just use a get-out-of-free card for whoever's name we might find that's in a part of the Taiyang to get into Taiyang.
You would suggest
Given how bad the weather is, the ships are going to have a hard time seeing anyone else as well. Got that going for you.
Alright, I mean, I'm not against it. It's obviously Thousand Tooth Tom's ship. Anyone who knows it would see it.
Well, then not many people would try to stop it either.
Other option, we don't really have any leads, is that we go after Mr. Thousand Tooth himself.
Hudson spews out a mouthful of rum.
Well, we have no leads, like you said. I don't even know where we'd start to go about doing that.
Well, we know he has an item, and I have legend lore.
Maybe some sort of apple?
Yes, he has an apple.
Which,
determine where the item is?
it can kind of tell me the story of the item, and him taking it and running it away is part of the story.
That's a very broad interpretation, but I'm willing to see if it works.
Or I can legend lore the I think it's a fawn.
Yeah.
Flan is a food.
You would all know at this point like what the items are and what nations they are corresponded with. If nothing else, just from enough legend loring. For the sake of cohesion at the expense of a little bit of continuity, I'll say that as you're like making final preparations, we'll call that a day or two to get all of the supplies that you need for this journey squared away. We'll say that the conversations between the other party and you all happen around this point. So you hear that Tor has become the new emperor of Shikyodai. Yes, he has moved on up.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign. You, I'm trying to remember what other conversations occurred last time.
Zug.
They're friends with Zugjagonku now.
Which is strange.
They
They've
lost
had
the
their minds
boat.
flayed clearly.
They found a pyramid in the jungle.
Right. Unimportant.
They're looking for they're looking for the tomb of the god that defeated Cthulhu.
Yeah, so over the course of a couple of days, as you get the ships prepared to sail, you kind of catch up on all of their story, the knowledge that they've learned from Zugjagonku, the fact that Tor now has the treasury and military of a nation state at his dispense.
It's insane.
And luckily, the capital of Shikyodai is also en route to Taiyang, so it would be very easy for you to kind of reconvene and make a final game plan, like there with them before you make your last leg of the journey.
Okay, and it's about how long to sail? About 9-ish days?
9-ish days, more with the storm, less with Jack. We'll call it a week. An 8-day week.
Could we get like free crewmen from Shikyodai?
Free, no, but like paid through Shikyodai's industrial military complex, yes.
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 Free. Okay, so we hire a skeleton crew to get us from here to there. And then we decide who's going to be permanent crew, which is obviously, Jiru and me.
Savannah and
Yes.
Everyone else whose names I definitely remember.
You and me both.
We could
I don't even
get a
know if we need
skeleton
Savannah
crew.
anymore.
We could
She's
offer a
fucking
ride
pointless.
from here to Shikyodai, where the Worldstorm is currently moored. And we may be able to get some cheaper crew members because they just want out of here. It could be our, selling point.
Right.
Who's the cat guy?
What?
Is it what?
What?
What cat guy?
Oh,
I'm
he's a
looking-
dragon.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. Drake.
I was like around.
I was looking
on the
looking
world
through my NPC notes and I'm like, we don't have a cat. Lucky?
Right. As
The blue cat. That's clearly a cat.
it's clearly a cat. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, he's a dragon boy. As you're having all these strategy conversations, Nagish just kind of hovers near Jack, and at some point he'll say, "Jack, I had a splitting headache a few days ago based on the stories of what you've all done. It was right at the time that the boat was nixed.
Yar.
It really hurt."
What do you think that has to do with? I mean, clearly it's not a coincidence. But what is the relevance?
Well, part of me is still linked to the eye, I think, and so by extension, to a little bit to the items and the state of their well-being.
Well, are you telling me that you're like a living item destruction sensor? That if another item were destroyed, you would feel it?
I'm afraid that I think so, yes.
Well, I mean, it's good information, but it sucks to hear. For you, there's a lot of them out there, and if the mind flayers get their way, they're gonna kill them all.
Well,
Or
thanks for
acquire them
that,
all, or-
Debbie Downer.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, it's that Celine. She infected me.
No, I did not cast any spell like that on you. That's ridiculous.
You and your friend are yelling at me about where we're going next.
I didn't yell at you.
It's not how I remember it.
Celine's just gonna make a face at you and like walk away.
Well, are there any final kind of like considerations or items to attend to before setting sail?
How much money for supplies?
You know, at this point, I'm hand waving it because
Okay.
you're friends with an emperor.
Wow. Like
I've got-
work
I've got the base covered.
acquaintances.
So convenient.
Cool. Are we keeping the two ships then?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it sounds like. I mean, even though they've got an airship now, sounds like we'll have plenty of crewmen. So I don't see why we wouldn't want more ships. That's my
All right.
opinion.
Perfect. Well, let's take our break. Let's come back at 11, and we will set sail for Shikyodai. See if we can reconvene with the other party.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Yarr.
See y'all soon.
See you in a bit.
Meow.
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 Okay, we are back, everyone.
Yar.
And
We're all blue cat men now.
These are our personas.
First,
Oh, I didn't even say what my tattoo was, like what it looked like.
what is your tattoo?
Oh, one's a fisherman on one arm, and then the casting line goes up his arm, like around his neck, and down the other arm where the hook, and there's a mermaid,
Yes.
shark, and like one of the spear whales. Just different sea life that catches.
Does
Is it a moon mermaid?
It is referencing his wife. They're
Okay.
supposed to be like one. He doesn't say which one is the actual tattoo. The others are just like filler of things he's caught.
Nice.
is the mermaid one of those like tattoos that if you like flex your muscle, she like dances?
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's my wife you're talking about.
Never mind.
She's beautiful.
She's a beaut.
All right, just again, a quick note at the top of this episode, if you're listening in podcast format, stay tuned through the end of the sign-off as we've got some show updates I want to talk through. So that said, we will jump back in. We're on the high seas.
Sounds
The
delicious.
high seas?
I love
long
high
as
sea.
As long as Celine is
That
around.
ecto cooler.
Wow.
My very good friend thought it was HIC, not high C. So I always have to order an
I can see it.
HIC.
Yeah. Well, you're sailing the stormy seas. It is brutal, except that you have a storm sorcerer with you that can calm the raging waters and skies
Yeah.
around you. So,
Control
thanks
the
to
wind, make it rain,
right.
shield us from the rain. I mean,
Yeah, you can't just spontaneously create gold.
I wish.
So I am gonna say, Jack, you're gonna gain a couple levels of exhaustion because you're gonna have to be up kind of around the clock, just to keep everything like under wraps. But you do get snatches of rest, as you're going, and throughout this time. Sorry, the music is a little loud.
Did get louder.
Our
Yeah, there we go.
storm was raging.
Right. Throughout this time, you are able to continue correspondence with the other party. So you'll be there in about a week to officially reconvene with them. And at about the halfway point, about 3 days in, any of you who would have been sleeping are awakened by moaning. Oh, it hurts.
So bad moaning.
Bad moaning.
Yeah. Nobody's fraternizing on this boat.
Not yet.
fraternizing.
What kind of
Yeah, I was gonna say,
mechanism to the fraternizing did you in place for them to be hurt like that?
Is Nagish okay?
Nagish is just rolling back and forth on the ground, just wailing.
Nagish is connected to the Eye of the Norns, and the Eye of the Norns is connected to the other artifacts of the Jushpatar Lyre through the 9th dimension.
I'm not going to question the 9th dimension thing, but
It's vital you understand the 9th dimension. See, we can only see one part of the Jushpatar Lyre, and in its separate pieces, it looks like things like a totem. Or a boat.
While he's saying all this mumbo jumbo, can I cast Greater Restoration on Nagish to see if it can kind of help alleviate him of this pain that he's in?
Yes, and I think it does. It reduces it to a dull ache.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, thanks, Celine. Thank you.
Of course. Do you want a smelly pouch?
A smelly pouch.
Just a pouch of good smelling things. I find.
It can't hurt. I appreciate your hospitality.
Of course, I appreciate your omnipotence.
It's called aromatherapy.
I'm sorry if this is rude. Do beholders have noses?
He smells through his eyes.
I smell through my eyes.
I was joking, Nagish.
I hear through my eyes too.
Great.
Oh my god. Do you taste through your eyes?
No, you weirdo. I have a tongue.
Okay.
But when you touch things with your eyes, do you feel?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm
Does
pretty
that hurt
sure
your
every
eyes?
dog would.
Little bit. Usually I just touch it with my eye stalks instead.
Sorry, the seas were getting pretty choppy there for a second.
Is this to say that another item has been burned?
Do you know which one?
Let me see if I can determine that. I'm trying to figure out what stat would be good for that. I think any one of you, whoever has the highest religion or arcana can make a roll on Nagish's behalf.
Have a 9 in Arcana.
Yeah, I have a 2 in Arcana and a 6 in Religion, so the 9.
9 in arcana for Moriarty is probably it.
Hit us, Moriarty.
Can my
What the
smelling...
Bless it.
I was just about
Well,
to say,
alright.
as you were rolling, does my smelling pouch help you focus?
Yeah, advantage. I demand advantage.
I don't think I'm gonna give out advantage on that. Nagish,
Silvery
Aromatherapy.
barbs.
Nathan.
I was gonna say, can I use silvery barbs?
Actually,
Silvery Barbs forces you to take the lower.
Oh.
what about my portent of 12?
Ooh.
I will accept a portent of 12.
So that would make the roll.
Does Nagish have inspiration?
21.
Does Nagish have inspiration?
No, with a 12 on the
with
die
12
and a
you'd have
plus
21.
9, Nagish is able to successfully utilize aromatherapy. The beholder smells the smelly pouch through his eyes to determine that an artifact elsewhere in the cosmos has been destroyed. That's a clippable sentence. That doesn't happen often.
If
Nagish
you've ever
says,
seen Tremors 2, I think it is, where the little Tremors use their little stalks to like grab for food. That's what I'm imagining his stalks doing with the smelling pouch, just like
yeah,
rubbing against it.
right.
Oh.
So you
So-
mean like literally out somewhere else in the cosmos an item was destroyed?
Well, no, it is on our plane of existence. It was the flaming heart of Pele in Haikonulu.
I crossed that place off the list.
Yep.
Well,
That
Alright.
isn't that where Zugjagonku was headed? Was Haikonulu?
That is where she's planning to rendezvous with the other crew.
traitor.
Well,
Are we sure the other crew didn't get their mind flayed and this isn't some kind of trap?
I mean, we're about to find out here in a day. Or 2 of 4.
4 days, yeah.
well,
Because I can't think of a single thing that anyone could ever say to me to get me to let Zugjagonku live.
Maybe it's because they didn't talk to us that she's alive.
Probably.
it seemed like they had every intention to murder her in cold blood when last we talked.
mind flayed.
Yeah,
When
that
we
does seem
encounter them,
suspicious.
look for scars around the ear trough.
Look for the little squiddy eyes that they get.
Your
Yeah.
snap your fingers right in their face. They love
Anyways,
that.
should we go back to sleep?
Yeah, you guys can go back to sleep for sure. I'll just stay up. by
Oh, do you
myself and-
want company? I only need to trance. I actually don't sleep. I just call it sleep just because like non-trances sometimes it's confusing.
No, it's fine.
Need a
fine.
few
You guys
hours
go
to
back
get some
sleep.
rest. I mean, the
Well-
rest of us are up now.
No. I got it.
Is Savannah up or is she sleeping?
Savannah's up. It's like morning at this point.
Oh.
You know, you've like Moriarty said earlier, you've got about 4 days left on sea.
I'm gonna go see if Savannah needs anything. Maybe a second pair of eyes, a back rub. Who knows?
McGeesh just looks at you. A second pair of eyes. I wouldn't recommend getting yours removed like that. It's painful. It's not exactly a really touching gift either, I would say.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like a turn of phrase.
Yeah, Jack's got one eye. Hudson's got one eye. Nagish has also had his eye removed. Got a lot of eyeless folks on board.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can head off to Celine or to Savannah. She is probably just trying to keep her composure with how much has happened in the past few days. The world storm has restarted and you're out on the open ocean in the middle of it. Like, that's not something that any sailor would necessarily aspire to.
Yeah, I'm gonna make her. Ooh, Moriarty. Do you mind if I pop down into the scullery for a bit? I'm not gonna touch anything you don't want me to touch.
What do you need down there?
I was gonna whip up like a quick breakfast.
You can't wait for breakfast like everybody else.
I was gonna make it for.
Oh, no, fine. You
our
can go down and go make your own breakfast. Fine. I'll be
Yeah,
up
and-
here waiting before I can get back into my galley.
Celine's
Go.
gonna make a. Oh, thank you. And she's gonna make like a really, really, really strong cup of sanity for Savannah, because I have a bunch of sanity on me, and like just like an English bacon sandwich, you know, where it's just like a roll and then bacon and then like some sauce in it.
Mhm.
Just
What
like
kind of
very,
sauce?
very filling and very easy to go with like the tea.
All right. Savannah is actually very appreciative, and I think without spending too much time on it, like she begins to open up to you, tell a little bit about like her past, her aspirations, her fears. Like there's connection that you're fostering there.
Mm-hmm. I think you're doing, first of all, an amazing job, and second of all, we wouldn't be afloat without you. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. But if you can't, I got you.
Well,
Because you deserve
thanks,
it.
love.
You do a lot. And
Thanks, love. I
I
do appreciate it.
wink at her,
And then I walk away, and then I give like a glance over my shoulder, and then I go back to my cabin.
All right. Now, Arf and Clacker and Moriarty and Nim, are there any like particular activities that you want to engage in over the course of the voyage?
I think Nim would just be wanting to like kind of get the gossip. Like she would be going to anybody who'd be willing to talk to her and just kind of, trying to figure out what everybody's vibe is and get a sense of what's going on. I like to think that she caught a glimpse of that little interaction between Celine and Savannah just now. And as Celine walked back, toward her room,
For
just
sure.
y'all are cute.
She would also
Really?
catch that Nelton is stealing jealous glances in that direction.
Really, you think so? I mean, I'm not the best with me words. Sometimes I get really flustered and I don't. It doesn't come out correctly as I imagine it in my head. But yeah, she's cool. We're cool.
Yeah, you could have fooled me. You seemed very fine.
Oh, well, thank you.
And just
You have a special person back wherever it is you're from?
no, I've had a string of misfortunes that are former lovers, but that's about it.
Oh. Yeah, I know. Something of a similar tale. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Very lonely, isn't it?
Maybe, but also kind of fun sometimes. I try to think more about the fun parts.
Hey, if you ever want to, I got a bag full of just drugs.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
I'll take you
Always.
up on that.
Yeah. It gets kind of boring out here.
It's
The entire ship lists sideways as you say that, and then rights itself after a massive wave.
yeah, boring. Just a yawn fest out here.
Yeah. Just nothing to occupy the time.
Well,
Anyways, gotta get my beauty trance on. You know how it
Yeah.
is.
oh yes. You have a good trance.
Thank
She'll
you.
go off to her little space. Hi, Nelton.
Well, hi. How's it going, Nim?
She just keeps walking. She just calls him out
Okay,
because she knew he was
okay.
there the whole time.
Anything in specific from Moriarty or Clacker, or just kind of business as usual?
Well, I imagine Moriarty was annoyed when he was told that they were taking over the galley for a bit. But after that, he just goes back to normal, cooking and doing his stuff. Can't fish during this time frame. And I guess, looking at Nilton's maps, just trying to figure out what's the best plan of action now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we've already been here. Bagadaga, we already have the thing there. So we have Taiying, and then all the rest on the other side of the world. It's just like him muttering to himself, and if anybody else is there to agree or disagree and talk about it, he would just chat and try to figure out what's going on, what we should do.
And
Yeah,
Clacker?
Business as usual for Clacker. I'll polish my horn. So it's nice and shiny.
Wow.
Nice.
Terrible.
And sorry, I didn't want to cut off Jack there. Did you want to chime in on the planning with Moriarty?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think the Jack would just say that we need to secure that weapon.
If there's one thing that we need to probably get our hands on, it's that god-slaying weapon.
Yep.
Right then. Well, if that's the idea, have we talked? Would we have our? We by this point we've talked with the other crew, correct? About like
Yes.
the meeting. So then, if we think we have the time, I don't know. Would it be faster for us to sail to Taiyang? Our crews to sail to Taiyang without us, and we go to Arcathians and then teleport back to our boat, or if we get something to store, something for our
Yarr.
travel plans.
That was a pretty crazy strategy that Blavatsky guy thought of, huh? I guess we could do the same thing. Boats, trees on a boat. Makes sense. But basically, my train of thought is that we're going to have to pick 2 targets, one for each of our next little crews, and there's a good chance that whatever we pick is the last one we'll get. Because they're striking and they're striking fast.
If
I accidentally drew a giant circle and it won't go away.
I'll get it.
Okay. And I thought it'll probably be fastest for us to go teleport, take our plot to our Cathans, because it'd be at least 15 days with your magic to get over Taiyang, and so.
that's true, I suppose if I think on it, I can try to remember a tree. I haven't been back home since in my 70s. I was just a child. But I'm sure
Moriarty is mouthing a word to Jack.
I know what the word is. I can read your lips.
It's not nice to see that.
I was mouthing the word elf. What were you thinking?
Oh, it looked a lot like you were saying hag.
By what means would I ever consider saying those words? And then there's a wink.
Can we get a rundown of one more time of what all the artifacts do?
I
mean, or maybe not do, but like, how do I put it? Like, they're legendary, like, god-slaying weapon, boat of
yeah.
gods,
If you
totem.
go, it's
Where's
in
the
a
list?
journal entry.
Yeah, it's in a journal entry. I can elaborate on them a little bit, given that you've got a few days on at the sea, and Celine can just legend lore a few times.
Mhm.
So, from Arcathians, the Actilian spear, the Spear of Legend, it was used by a great warrior thousands of years ago, and then by, what's his name?
Emperor.
Atahualpa. All I could think of was Chalupa, right? Used by Atahualpa to slay Gozia after Gozia defeated Cthulhu. The Jade Jewel you already have. It assists with transportation of your vessel in various ways. Arrowhav with the Eye of the Norns, you're very familiar with that already.
Sure.
Divination, identification, locating stuff. Haikanalu, the Flaming Heart of Pele, obsolete. It's been destroyed. Kelruma, the boat of Sankuriang, also obsolete as it's been destroyed. Masara, the Flower of Utnapishtim. You're not really sure about this one. Utnapishtim is a figure of legend from the Epic of Shagmahal. allegedly he dwelt on the far end of the astral sea and grew a flower that represented the incarnation of his wisdom. Moksande and the golden apple, currently in Thousand Tooth Tom's possession. It appears, based on what you've heard and what Celine has gleaned, it appears to be a regenerating apple that when you eat it, it regenerates, so you can keep eating it, and it essentially serves as like powerful healing potions. Heals you every time you take a bite out of it. Totem of Tagal from Reniana, you already have that. You know what it does. The fan of Li Shun from Taiyang is one of those like fold out fans. It's got weather powers, which could be really helpful right now. Got the ability to make a boat, turn a boat into an airship, essentially. And Tlatzakiyotl, the Stone of Endless Sacrifice. There's not much in the way of like legend, like the legend lore. It's weird with this one. When Celine tries to cast legend lore on it, it just gives her a splitting headache.
Ow. That really hurt.
You too, Nagish says.
Yeah, I was trying to think about the Stone of Endless Sacrifice. You know anything about this?
I can't say that I do. I mean, I know that it's one of the 10, but what it does, no, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
So by that interpretation about her headache, we infer that the mind flayers would have issues of seeing it, even with the eye.
Given Nikisha's response, yeah, that's a fair assumption.
All right, well,
Legend-
that's a better plan then now.
Yeah. And I'll we'll continue strategizing. You'll meet up with the rest of the crew in just a few days here. But as you continue sailing, Jack, like I mentioned earlier, you are gaining exhaustion, but you are still going to have to rest from time to time. Maybe not the full long rest that you typically would, but like not even you can just keep going constantly.
And I can try my best with greater restoration to kind of help him.
I
Oh,
also
yeah, that's
have
a good
greater
point.
restoration for what it's worth. We
Yeah.
can take turns.
Perfect. Yeah, so I guess actually you won't have any exhaustion by the time you reach Shikyodai. But I will say, Jack, at one point when you do fall asleep, you find yourself back at the beach where you found the Totem of Tagal. Rocky, shattered-looking beach with dark storm clouds overhead. Storm clouds that look uncomfortably like the world storm.
Well, I haven't been here in a while. Is Yold here?
Yold is standing before you. He's just looking at you kind of sadly.
How are you holding up, Yold? I thought I
And-
saw you stumbling away from that paddle.
Things are dire, Jack. And he
Yarr.
clops up towards you. And as he does, his visage shifts. His fur takes on a gray hue. One of his antlers snaps off. And it looks like his knees are kind of buckling. I'm afraid, Jack. I'm afraid that I'm dying.
didn't know it was possible for a god to die.
I mean, sadly, Jack, it is. I am a dream as much as you. We can expound as much as you wish about dimensions, but at the end of the day, I am still a figment of the dreamer's imagination, same as you.
Yar.
And he stirs.
Well, I'm sending my crews after some of the remaining artifacts. We're obviously running out of time, but it's not too late to do something about this yet. I'm gonna do what I can to set things right. I feel that the spear is very vital if it can kill the giant Gojira. I'm sure it could kill Cthulhu, and if you're telling me a god can die, then I suppose that we're gonna need to kill Cthulhu. Do you have any godly suggestion on the other artifact we should focus our time on? If you had to pick one, what would you old pick?
The spear is an excellent choice, Jack, for the reasons that you have stated. Elsewise, they each contain their merits. The fan would not stop the world storm, but it would lessen its effects around you and your allies. There is great benefit in that.
Yar, I could see that.
I appreciate your fighting spirit, Jack. I knew when I found you that there was something special about you. When I became aware that I was nothing more than a dream, I set out to make the 10 items in my lyre and managed to use those to lure the dreamer into a deeper sleep. By his very dream. For of course he dreamed me, I then created the items, so in a way he created the items. Yet they kept him in a slumber. With the items dying, with me growing weaker, as he stirs, new gods will have to take my place.
Well, hopefully there is good a gods as you old. Couldn't ask for more, I suppose. I know we've had our ups and downs. But, I really do appreciate all the help you've given us. And I don't know. I don't know how to imagine a life without you, but I'll try and take what you've taught me and the lessons that I've learned and apply it to the future of this world. I'll try my best to steer everything into the proper direction.
Well, Jack, you have done more than even I could have expected or hoped to that end. And the time for you to carry on and steer the world as best you can without my guidance may come very, very soon. As he says that, his knees actually buckle, and he just plops down on the stones in front of you. His head is still up. I'm not saying he just fell dead, but he's greatly enfeebled.
Is there anything I can do to ease this for you?
He considers that for quite a while. He looks out over the waves, and insofar as a moose can shrug, he does. He looks back at you. It's odd. Dying when you know that in some ways you never really existed. I suppose not well. I suppose any of our actions, do they... I'm sorry, I should not discourage you with such musings.
Well, I think I understand where you're going with that. I have often had similar thoughts about, what's the point, but I truly think that you have to laugh in the face of adversity, and squid-faced monsters trying to destroy reality is not how I thought I would go down, but if that's what it's gonna take, I'm not going down without a fight. I've been fighting my whole life, I'm gonna die fighting, and hopefully I don't die in this fight. Alright. Well, thank you for your wisdom, Yold. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for the powers you've bestowed upon me. Thank you for everything that you've done for this world. You've been a great father, God. I'm sure some would question your ethics and your morals, and you know what? Screw them. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know it all. I'm sure you've had quite the life.
Thank you, Jack. Seek the other fish people.
The other fish people? Like the ones at the bottom of the sea?
Yold nods and then lays his head down on the stone and just looks up at you.
They don't have any of the artifacts.
The final piece to the puzzle.
Oh, Yold, you always speak in these cryptic...
Allow me, with effort, he raises his head a little bit. Allow me to be direct then, Jack. Arcathiotl, one of the aquatic nations.
Jack would just nod.
All right.
And then he lowers his head and appears to fall asleep. You can see his chest moving. But the vision fades gradually and you would wake up.
Yeah. The only spell I have in my inventory that I could think of that would maybe help him would be Bless, but he's a god. I'm blessing him with his own bless.
Yeah.
The power of Yold guide you, Yold.
When the blessee becomes the blesser.
When you left me, I was but the cleric. Now I...
I mean, if Tor can become emperor.
Wow.
Soon, God Emperor.
What?
They said somebody had become gods.
All right. Well, that is interesting. Arcathiotl. They don't have any of the artifacts, though. Arcathians has one.
Well,
Is
we didn't know if the spear was truly in Arcathians. There's two places it could have been.
would Jack tell us about Arcathiodal?
Oh yeah, I mean Jack always tells everybody about his dream. Gather round, crew. I had another vision of you old.
You assemble the entire crew.
All right, it wasn't good. The old is not looking great. He's pretty
Oh.
banged up.
Well, I told you he was dying.
Yeah, he said as much. Thanks. All right. People say I'm the
Way
type
to
of
jinx
talker.
it, you know.
I didn't jinx it. I was reporting facts.
Well,
You breathed
all right.
it into existence.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not doing good. All right. He might pass. He suggested the spear was a good choice. It's for the very reasons we all know that the spear is a good choice. It can kill a great big monster, like Gojira or Cthulhu. He also suggested the fan from Taiyang because, well, it while it might not prevent the world storm, it will prevent its effects on anyone nearby it. So if we need to, fight Cthulhu in pitched combat and the world storm is fully cured, we're not going to be rolling constitution saves for exhaustion the whole time. And that sounds...
Nelton is just like staring at you in awe. You really do see into multiple dimensions.
That's some ninth dimension talk. It's hard to understand, but basically it's your body is going to be fighting this magic. And with the fan, we just won't have to do that. We can fight other magics that Cthulhu and Mind Flayers are going to be surely throwing at us. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. Does the Orb of Endless Sacrifice sound epic and awesome? Sure, yes, it does. And does no one know what it does? No, no one knows what it does. And does that really intrigue me and make me want to go see what it does for myself?
I
Yes.
mean,
Alright.
I have been known to love a wild card. Some would say I'm a
But
wild
I-
card myself.
I don't know about that one. It seems like the old was kind of suggesting we don't do that. But one thing the old did say is that we should go to Arcathiosal regardless. That something about the fish people, which I thought this whole fish person thing was just like had something to do with the fact that he was a moose, and that's like an animal aspect. And so then when he turned me into his chosen, he turned me into an animal aspect, and the totem has animal aspects. And I thought that's what was going on, but no, it turns out there's something very important with fish people in general. It's the final piece of the puzzle, is what he said.
Do I know anything about Arcathiodal?
As as someone who is native born to Arcathians, you would know at least a little. I'll have you make a history check to determine how much.
Ooh, something I am kind of not great at. And that's a 7.
Okay, a 7. So I mean, it has been 100 years since you've been there.
Like 50 to 75.
Okay, sure. It's been a while, regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would remember like kind of the basic like elementary story of Arcathiodal. You wouldn't know anything about it like currently, and you don't remember any fine details. But it is a nation that is basically a child nation of Arcathians and Tlatziciotl. I mean, even in the name, that's kind of self-evident. It is an aquatic nation. It's submerged like Nerau, but it is not as deep as Nerau. It's more of like a coral kind of nation, built along a coral reef and down a continental shelf. So it's kind of tiered, I guess. It has a wide mix of people. It has some, again, like Narao, it has some oxygenated areas where people from like the surface can exist comfortably. It is also the you can't remember details, but it is definitely related to the story of the world storm that involved the rise of Gozia and then Atahualpa's betrayal.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't been myself to Arthur Kaotl, but it's kind of like Narao. It's under the water, but we can breathe in some parts, and has a very old history. If I had to bet, if I were betting elf, I would say we may find our spear somewhere in the vicinity.
All right. Makes sense to me. And if not, either way, we should stop by and see what Yold was all about.
Yeah, maybe meet some of your family.
I don't know if they're my family. I don't know.
I mean, is anyone else in your family half a fish? Maybe full fish?
I've never met my biological family.
Oh, so maybe Yold didn't turn you into a fish.
I'm not super familiar with fish people, but I don't think you normally are born a man and then violently turn into a fish. But maybe I don't know.
Maybe it's like a it's like our elves. We we don't hit puberty until we're like what, in our 50s and 60s.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, the last world storm, a bunch of people got turned into fish people too, but I guess I always thought that had something more to do with Cthulhu than Yold.
Now, I'll say these conversations happen over the last 2 days, and you can arrive in Shikogawa at this point, just to square the circle and give you all of the full information that you'll potentially need in order to finalize your plans here. This officially aligns the two timelines. A Myconid named Shiitake receives you at the pier. I don't know why I blanked on that word. Receives you at the pier and escorts you all to the castle where Emperor Tor is waiting to receive you.
Oh, wow. You really weren't kidding when you said you were the new emperor.
I see you guys have been busy, not collecting artifacts. Yes, well, no, but we have collected soldiers, wealth, airships for the cause.
We've also gotten like a lot of like information and, had fun and made friendships along the way, so.
Well, I got some bad news. The world storm's starting a little earlier than we thought.
Yes. 2 of the artifacts have already been destroyed.
I thought it was one.
It was one.
It was 2.
It was a second. A few nights ago, the Flaming Heart of Pele. So we know you have a friend who may be headed in that direction.
What on earth made you let Zagjaganku live? Because she clearly destroyed that flaming heart.
Well, are you familiar with mind flayers?
Yar, vaguely.
Well, they're a collective, and if you kill one, another one just replaces it. So if we kill Zugjikanku, it really accomplishes nothing. You understand?
I mean, I would have gotten a little bit of gratification knowing she was dead.
She-
Yes, well, she's actually a traitor to the cause. She's on
Yeah.
our side.
Elagoshi, I don't know where he went. He kind of just doesn't really do much. But he did say that in the rebellion she was their most valuable asset. And she saved she's working to make Shigeodai a better place, and Tor wouldn't really, I don't know if Tor would have become emperor without her assistance.
I would have.
And also she's really into like some kinky rope stuff.
Wow, did you fuck her too?
No, I'm a child.
I just feel like you guys gave her a pretty warm reception.
Listen, what part of collective don't you understand? If you fought mind flayers, kill one. Half the time they just drag them back to their nautiloid and bring them back out 5 seconds later. Oh,
Yeah,
Don't I know it?
Yeah, and we were on that nautiloid, and it was a lot. Like they try to feed us brains.
Yes, they offered us some sort of an alliance, and I thought about doing some sort of double thing then too, but I just didn't see any benefit in it at the time. And
You were on the Nautiloid?
Yeah. Also, Nelton, hi, I missed you.
I missed you too.
And then Nelton uses 2 fingers to point to his eyes, and then he points at Jack's eyes, and then he jerks a thumb over at the other party members. And then he makes like mind flare tentacle gestures in front of his mouth.
I've never actually seen a nautiloid, so I don't know what that is.
It's basically a big boat that's also alive and also can go under the water, and also it's very terrifying and very scary. And we met Narlatili, the champion avatar of Cthulhu, and I really wanted to fight him, but like we would have died quickly.
Didn't stop me.
Yes. Well, yes. Well, we can't all be as brave as you, can we, Nelton? I really feel that we made the proper decisions, and you knew we were going to try and kill Zugjianku, so you can't be mad that we didn't get an artifact. We got quite a bit other stuff. I don't know if you don't seem very grateful for the other stuff that we have for you.
Yeah, like a sarcophagus.
And it's
When we could all be buried in the fucking sarcophagus. Well, it's not even gonna matter when the reality that we live in gets blipped out of existence.
Speaking of all of
Children-
the other stuff that Abraham was referring to there, in the magic item vault in
Ooh.
this castle,
Ooh.
the servants found a lodestone, which has been magically enchanted to essentially cast locate object 3 times a day. It
Nice.
is increasingly accurate the more powerful the item is that you're trying to locate. It will reveal nothing about lore, but if you pair it with legend lore, it can help you pinpoint where magic items are.
Cool.
Yes, so we found that. It's like a magic item radar.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We also got Finn.
Hello.
Oh,
She's
hello.
new.
Yes, we have a
We,
new
Right.
we also have a
member as
new
well.
crew member ourselves.
Say
Yes,
hello to Jeru.
Yeah.
And this is
Oi,
Nim.
hello there.
This is Nim. She's
Hello.
Jeru's assistant.
That's right. I'm the assistant.
I feel like I know you.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
your voice sounds like really familiar.
Oh,
Are
you
you
know,
in the
I'd s-
entertainment business?
I dabbled. Yeah. Yeah.
Were you ever on like a Gregory broadcast?
Did you ever play at the
Yeah,
Royal
yeah.
Palace?
I had a couple of pretty consistent gigs there. Yes. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's your yeah. Mhm.
And
Oh
you're
my
part
gosh.
of their crew. What?
Oh my gosh, just
What-
clicked. You are Anemone LeBeau?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
that-
Oh my god. Oh my
yeah.
god. And you're here?
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking for something different. And so here we are.
I was like,
Yarr.
oh my gosh, I was like obsessed. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm fangirling a little bit right now.
You're very sweet. Thank you.
Well, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I don't know you on that level. But we've
She's-
gotten along quite well on the voyage here. And they seem like a rather reasonable individual. They're looking for a trip to Taiyang. I feel like that's our perfect in if we need one to get into that country.
Yeah, I mean, I was born there, so, I've got that for what it's worth. I
I
don't know
think
if that
that
makes
makes
any
you a
kind of
legal
difference.
citizen.
Yeah, so there's that, maybe.
I mean,
You have a
I'm,
passport.
Oh, I mean, I'd have to look and see if I actually have any of that paperwork with me, to be fair. I was just going to try to get in on like a guest visa, but I'm not above leveraging that kind of thing if I need to.
And,
And
you're
I can cry on
famous.
command, so there's that.
Yeah, you're like
famous.
very famous and talented and wonderful and like
Oh,
I mean,
not
these
very,
people
but,
recognize you. If we go to Taiyang, will they recognize you?
I mean, maybe, depending on who's working the desk, I guess.
So you're saying that art is subjective, and some people are fans, some people aren't.
Yeah.
I really understand.
yeah, I used to never miss one of your broadcasts. I got in trouble once for like sneaking out, but it was like totally worth it. It was your like Winterfest special that you did. And your outfits were so cool and so
yeah.
sparkly.
That was a good one. I do remember that. That was fun. That headpiece was heavy, but beyond that, it was pretty fun.
But you looked so pretty.
Well, now that pleasantries are out of the way, I suppose that I should tell you I had another dream about Yold, and he told me that our time was running out, and with Nagish's constant headaches pointing us towards the destruction of the artifacts, I really feel that we need to pick the two most important artifacts and go straight for them, like as fast as humanly possible, because there's a good chance that they're not going to be there for long. So, I say spear is obvious choice. We have to get the spear, but I'm willing to be open to negotiations about the other one. Yold suggested the fan, which is in Taiyang, which we're very close to.
Or we could go get the stone of endless sacrifice, because it's
Ooh.
a bit of shrouded in mystery. Every time I've tried to cast legend lore, it seems to be blocked, so we don't really know.
On that, could Abraham roll on that?
Oh, legend lore?
Legend lore
just
is not a.
knowledge. Abraham has a lot.
Oh, like what it could. Okay.
obscure knowledge.
Yeah. If you want to make a Arcana or a History check, go for it.
I mean, you never know, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not as good at Arcana and History as apparently Moriarty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by
what's
that
that
one,
about?
apparently, yeah, you know.
Just drop that one on there.
That wasn't me. That was Nagisha's role.
I did get an 18 though, which
You
I don't
did
know
get
if
an
that's
18.
good enough, but
Yeah, the Stone of Endless Sacrifice probably is one of those weird esoteric things that Abraham Blavatsky would have been interested in. I think with an 18 from him specifically, given his backstory, he would know that the Stone of Endless Sacrifice possesses great power so long as someone has immediately died and given their blood to
Jesus.
stone.
Yeah, I would tell him that. Be like, oh, you're very fascinated by the Stone of Endless Sacrifice. You know, I have to admit, I was fascinated by it for a while. Its very mysterious nature calls to the heart of one, and such as myself, and I very soon gave up on it because while I do feast on the despair of mortals, I require them to live, and the Stone of Endless Sacrifice requires just that.
Wait, you feast
And-
on the despair of others?
Have we not been over that?
No, why did you want to go to a sit-down restaurant so bad?
Because I just thought it would be a good time. You guys could all have fun, and I would feast on the despair of the people at the sit-down restaurant.
So you just go to places that like people are not having a good time?
Yeah,
That's why he sat so close to the bar. It makes sense now.
right.
get
There were
it.
so many people there that were just crying into their sakes,
Mhm.
and there were people that were all upset that their steaks were overcooked. That's why I wanted to go to the steak restaurant. It's just common knowledge. Why do you think I liked it in Cliff's Bay so much? Everyone was very upset about the mushrooms growing everywhere.
They're less upset about
I
mushrooms.
think they were more upset about their friends, being turned into mind flayers, but yeah.
I guess you're right. The mushrooms really are gonna.
Have you
damage
ever
the
feasted on
infrastructure.
my despair?
I mean, it's not really like a optional.
Like,
thing.
that's so.
The-
Like, you didn't have my consent.
I mean, you're just throwing it away.
You should still ask first. That's my despair.
Just giving it to the universe. Just throwing
My
it into the-
despair, my choice.
So if I throw $100 on the floor, and you come pick it up, I can say, "Hey, that's my choice." Just throw that. It's to be wasteful.
Yeah,
Let's see.
no.
It feels a little bit more like maybe recycling, if I'm not mistaken. It's you are disposing of it. He is finding a way to reuse it.
Yeah.
Is that why you
tossed
cursed
it?
that?
You left it. I pulled up quick and retrieved it.
Close the
that-
loop.
Is that why you cursed that whole island?
I mean, that was different. That was way different. Did I
that why you-
feast on their despair? I mean, sure. When I told them that their island was going to die, a lot of people were in despair, and yes, I did feast on their despair. But the greater despair is going to happen in a year when I'm not even there.
So you're just wasting their despair?
Well, I mean,
Like, just at least be around to like absorb it or whatever. Like, you caused
I'm
it.
giving their despair to. Oh wow! I mean, do we have to get into this here? I
I
feel like
think
there's
we-
greater.
Ugh, we'll talk about it later, but like, we need to talk about it.
Let me
Our
ask
despair's not
while
going to waste.
I don't think we need to bring this back up again.
this conversation is going on, I just want to touch base on the drama unfolding with Clacker and Arf. Because they didn't leave on very good terms. What else is going on there?
Oh, it is just well, Arf never really had any issues with Clacker.
Mhm.
Like
Just
when
tips
they,
his fedora.
yeah. Well, I think his fedora's under new management right now.
Ooh.
But Clacker like takes note of Arf's new clothes. Arf like waves to everyone. He says like hello, and Clacker like says hello to everyone except Arf, and just like stands away from him. Like they're standing. Abraham's in between them, and
An
Clacker's
Abraham
just,
apart.
Like, yeah, Clacker's just like staring daggers at Arf, and Arf is just like he doesn't care. He's just happy to have everyone back together right now. Like there's
Okay.
for Arf, there's no beef between the two of them, but Clacker's like there's blood in the water with him.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Speaking of despair,
No, Abraham.
it's not. He's just throwing it away.
You should at least ask first.
Clacker, can I please have your despair that you're just throwing away?
I'm not gonna have to agree with the Emperor. We should probably move on from the topic of the despair and its recycling.
Given
making
like
world
people's
storms
dietary
and
choices
whatnot.
and the end of the world, there is a bit of a disparity between like the two.
And he can feast on the disparity
Nathan.
between the two all he wants.
New law. You gotta ask permission before you eat people's despair.
I did not sign that into effect.
During this council, I'm imagining the Council of Elrond, but with like this party around the circle. With that lodestone, if you want to choose 3 items, I can confirm their current locations.
Am I pretty on base though about like we need to pick 2 and go for them?
Given that over the course of about a week, 2 items were destroyed back to back, that's a reasonable assumption.
Okay.
The writing is
I
in the
just wanted
tea
to make sure I
leaves.
wasn't like super off base because you were like, "Oh, this thing can hunt down things," and I'm like, "You said 3," and I'm like, "We don't have time for 3."
Right. That's just how the item works. It's 3
Ah.
locate objects per day. That's just what it does.
Would
I
we
see.
be able to infer that we delayed at least one of the items' attack parties when we destroyed that first group in their Kraken?
Back near Coquer.
I see what you're saying. I mean, insofar as those individual mind flayers, Kraken is a pretty big deal. That's certainly finite. So you definitely set them back some. As Jack and Abraham have been arguing about, they are a collective. There are always more mind flayers.
Yes.
So I'd say definitely the Actilian spear.
Oh yeah.
What if we just did like the totem of Tikal?
Oh, we already have that one.
If we did the golden apple, we would get a location on Thousand Tooth Tom.
Yes.
Correct.
I do think that
I
should
do
be-
think
we
he
should do,
is one of them that we need to locate.
Yeah, we should do the spear, the
Mhm.
fan, and the apple. If we want the fan. Now,
think
I would
fan's
explain
smart.
it, and I think Abraham would agree that the fan is a good option because he personally experienced the storm, and it even affected him, and he's a fucking badass. So
Out of options, the fan seems the most logical to get, simply via proximity. Like it's the shortest time.
But the
but
Stone of Endless Sacrifice sounds metal
Yeah.
as hell.
we can kill somebody and then gain endless power.
Is that also that's the item that we can't really like mind? Like
Yeah, we
the
don't-
Yeah, so it might be a
really pinpoint.
shield.
Hmm.
Well, that's also the one that
Oh,
they're
that's true.
they're gonna have the most problems finding.
Do you
My opinion. In my opinion, it's probably the one that they'll have the most difficulty time finding.
Well,
Do you
if we get it 3 times per day, correct?
Yeah, you can keep
Could we
like
not-
checking.
Yeah, like why can't we could always do the stone this first go round, and then if there's a block on it, we know. We don't have to check it, and then next time we could check the fan.
True, but ideally,
If we want to have our
start
cake made
setting
too,
off
I
right
vote
now.
fan personally, but
I think
I
the
like
fan
that
is fair
idea.
calm, Sam.
But I think that we should do that tomorrow.
And the question would then be, who's taking the lodestone?
Right. I mean, you can message one another. We've established that.
And-
Everyone has
And
cell phones
we're gonna
now.
have boat trees.
We're gonna have
Right.
boat trees.
You can
And
have
so
boat trees.
We got our
Celine
lodestones,
can travel
our
to the other
cell
boat
phones.
tree, assuming Abraham hasn't already killed it.
Right.
We'll have 2 boat trees, one for Abraham to use once, and one's for Celine's permanent use.
I think
and
we
emergency
got 3
tree
shrubberies for the flying ship.
Mhm,
We got
correct.
3 shrubberies.
Large shrubberies.
supply.
Are you, is the plan still to go to West Annika first?
What was the plan to go to West Annika for again? I personally,
Oh, there's a library
I've slept
there
since then, so I don't know.
There's a library there that could tell
Yeah.
us more about the spear.
Well, if we have a lodestone that can find where the spear is, then I don't really see the point.
Well,
of having
it's
to
not
go to the
necessarily
library.
the spear. It's the how do we kill
How does the spear
Cthulhu?
even work? How to kill
Yeah.
Cthulhu with the spear?
The location of Gozia as well.
Oh, that's
that-
right. We need to awaken Gozia to fight
From
Cthulhu.
30 stories high, breathing fire.
That's the plan we came up
set in the
with.
sky, Shira.
keep it going. Keep it going.
No, I don't want to get copyright
Is there a little
strike.
baby Gojira Gojuki?
As far as you're aware, there's only one.
Oh, man.
There's not a mecha one. There's not a space one. There's not a junior one.
But we did fight, there was a turtle one, right?
What?
Gamera? There wasn't a big turtle one? Okay, never mind.
I mean, there are dragon turtles. That's a thing, but that's separate.
Okay.
So, can we just strat a little bit? So, Celine, originally we were gonna have the Slayers go to West Annika.
Yeah.
While they're in West Annika, they're gonna have the ship flying to Arcathians, and then the
Yeah,
treasure crew was
report
going
back.
to go to Taiyang.
Saying, and then Monasin, but we don't have to.
Monosokoton. We don't need to go to Monosokoton.
Yeah, but we don't have to go there.
Or Moxendel now. However, me realizing that Celine also has transport via plants means that they can go to Arcathians. Because she is originally from Arcathians.
That's true, but isn't it
Ergo,
pretty good chance
we can-
that it'll be like in the water or something?
but it would at least get us closer than us starting all the way from Shigeodai. And maybe it's not even in the water. Maybe there's something. Maybe God
We'll still divine the location. if we
Yeah.
know what it is.
will be getting closer.
But
Yeah,
that
I mean,
would
you
get
can
that
still-
Problem with
crew-
that. Can you teleport to West Annika?
No.
I can.
How does that get us closer to the spear?
It gets us
closer
to the
to the
library.
No, I get that. You guys would still go to the library.
Yeah, while
And
we go to
Arcathian.
So you,
You
want
send
me to
the
read you a
airship.
book through message? Is that what you're asking me to do?
Okay.
Yes.
That is, no one has that many spell slots.
Hold on. You only have to give the pertinent information, and we can always meet back
This
up.
is how Spark Notes is invented.
I mean, we just
Do you think that
You're going there to find
welcome
her
to the table of
location,
contents
correct?
about Gojira and the spear? For the pertinent information, turn to page 52.
Gojira,
For the
we
rest
only
is going to
need
be
to know
flavor
what
text.
Gojira is from the library. We're going to use the lodestone to figure out where the spear is.
We need the information from the library to find the location of
Gojira.
his grave.
So are you going to lend us the dancer and singer then, so we can get into Taiyang?
I'm still under the impression that, Treasure Crew, as we have suddenly been calling ourselves, should we go to Arcathians and then
Yarr.
teleport to our ship that's sailing to Taiyang?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Then what the fuck are we doing?
You guys
Just
go
sitting
to
here with our balls
go
in
to
our
West
hands?
Annika to the library, find Goshira's tomb location, wherever she's sealed, slumbering, and then sail your boat to Talsakot or maybe Thousand Tooth Thumb. I'm not sure.
Or we also are supposed to meet up with Doug Jagonku and Haikanalu.
Well, that's also
I
a
think
little
that
bit
you
of a
guys are
difficult
biting
thing.
off too much more than you can chew. You should focus on one item, and we'll focus on one item.
Were
But
you?
my only concern is the time that it takes, to travel. We'll be able to get to the one item and then back to our boat at Taiyang. Time really, the travel time doesn't really change for these things. Both of us can get to what? Arcathians?
Just
No, just
Celine.
us.
Yeah, just Celine.
Only you can go to West Annika.
I mean, we could
Let
go
me-
to Arcathians with a boat.
Let me ask you to go ahead and pick what you're going to use the lodestone on today, because that should help you.
Well, if we
determine your-
I think we said the spear, the fan, and were we doing the stone or Tom?
the stone or the apple were the two, yeah.
And
that were
also-
on it.
I'm open
Just-
to either.
sail to Arcathians from Shigeodai is 49 days of travel, not including an airship and not including any
Magic.
magic or any battles or fuckery that may happen.
My point is that when has getting an artifact ever been as simple as just rolling up, picking it up, and leaving? Eye of the Norns took us fucking 2 months.
Well, that was the totem to the Gaul and then to the Eye of the Norns. And that was actually only 2 weeks?
It was 2 weeks in game. It was 2 months record time.
Right. 2 months in the ninth dimension, which Jack and Nagish would also know that you could potentially cut down that 49-day sail if you were to find a way into the Astral Sea.
How do we do that? I like that proposition.
I don't have any inherent offer for how you would do that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't have.
Dangle it in
You
front of us,
could,
sir.
you
I-
did
I-
face. I don't know how.
I mean, if you-
you
Dangling the fruit of
If there were someone you knew who had spent a lot of time in the Astral Sea, then such a person might be able to.
Or maybe an arch druid who knew how to plane shift.
No, guys.
Such a good
You didn't help me with the gnomes. The gnolls.
We didn't help with the gnomes. I just hear Body Nook. What did I ever...
Oh, Body Nook.
I was thinking of Kenawan, but yeah, I guess body.
If we're gonna talk to Kenawan, why don't he can just research the location of the tomb?
He's dealing
also
with
true.
a lot now. And also, I really, really want a royal subplot.
There's no time for the subplot.
I was
Um,
promised a subplot.
Tor just glares.
I am the royal subplot.
The lodestone reveals for the spear and the fan. It reveals that the spear is in this little village
What?
on the coastline here.
What are the chances?
A little sleepy village. Oh, I think we summoned there once. It's quite lovely.
So-
now.
Celine could get pretty close to it.
Yeah,
that?
I might. We might go into like have to go into. I imagine some like garden estate.
Yeah.
In the city or something.
And the fan of Li Shun is actually kind of right in the heart of where this compass is right now.
What?
Oh.
And so,
Huh.
are we going with the apple or the stone?
See, here's my pitch for the apple. Is that what if Thousand Tooth Tom is like here in Shekiodai or some shit?
Yeah,
like that.
Or
Yeah.
he could be. He could.
Or he could
also
be
have
on the
fan.
compass. Yeah, he could be there.
He could have the fan.
Better to know.
Now, real quick, just for audio listeners, so the spear is approximately where everyone predicted it would be. It's in Arcathians. It's in a smaller town, not like the big city, and not like the hills or anywhere more mysterious. It's just in a town. So that's a little bit weird. It's not like the Eye of the Norns. The fan of Li Shun is halfway across the world from where people expected. So it's not in Taiyang. It's in the middle of the open ocean between Shikyodai and Arcathians. In terms of like sail time, almost, well, I guess like a third of the way there, a third of the way to Arcathians. So not at all where it is historically supposed to be.
But also
You finish
potentially-
your royal subplot and then get to your boat and get to the fan quickly.
It also they could be headed to Masar or Tatsukliotl.
Yeah.
Potentially.
But I think we should go with Thousand Tooth Tom in case he also owns the fan, or he's somewhere nearby, or somewhere way off chart that we have to go.
And we can do it again tomorrow, and tomorrow we can do the stone.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Tomorrow is another day, and we can keep checking to
right.
see if the fan is moving.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
curious about
Yep.
that now that it's out there.
So Apple for the final one.
Mm-hmm.
We're going
right.
with apple. Lock it in.
Yep. The apple,
What is apple?
the golden apple is up in this archipelago near so there's like a kind of a ring of islands with a whirlpool in the middle that is just kind of naturally formed by the currents that the islands cause. This is in technically it's in the nation of Stoffheld. These islands are part of Stoffheld, which on the map is close to Arcathians. It's between Arcathians and Arohav. So Arohav obviously is where the Eye of the Norns was. Stoffheld is originally where Hudson Swift is from.
Right.
It's also pretty
Same
close
thing
to
with Dimitri
Pengerhau.
Schouten, right?
It is also fairly close to Pengerhau, yeah.
That's where the Schotens are from too, right?
Where Dimitri Schouten and his family is from. Yep.
It's a good in between from like if you were to go between the, where the fan is to Arcathians, and then if the other group was in West Annika, you could all center meet in the kind of like archipelago area where the stone is.
Yep.
Maybe?
The only thing is where we have to plot the ships and then the
Mhm.
teleport.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think close to Stoffheld. I mean, yeah. There's some big trees in Pengerhau.
The fuck?
I think you're on the wrong menu here.
Me?
Cody.
Whoever
Oh, Cody.
I think. Yeah.
Did you hear what the fuck? He's just drawing shapes on the map, everyone.
Ooh, what's this?
Yeah, we're coming up on time, so let's go ahead and figure out like kind of the steps and lock in these this next plan for the heroes.
So that also means that we don't know who has the fan.
You
Right.
don't know who has the fan, correct? If you have, I can't remember if you have like scrying or clairvoyance or anything like that. There's a chance you'd be able to figure that out.
Penny has scry, but I think would have penalties on it.
I mean, you can still try if you want to get that last piece of information.
Do you guys think it would be worth it to try?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that
hold
the
on,
kind
let
of
me
thing
pull
Whole
it
that has
council
up.
just
guidance on
turns
or
to
bless?
Penny.
Like
Guidance and bless would be fine on that.
I can
I
try.
certainly would.
Okay, let me pull up my spell book because I didn't think I would need it, and it's in my room. Let me just go run and grab it really quickly. Okay.
So bless is saving throw. Oh, it's when they make a saving throw, though.
Or
Okay, if
ability
I
check,
have,
think.
I wouldn't have any. There any pictures in the palace of this fan?
I wouldn't think
Any
so.
pictures in the palace?
Of the fan.
Oh, in the palace of Shikyodai of the fan?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So I think I would have -5 to my save, which makes it gotta be an 11.
Well, so it has to be a creature.
Yes. Mine is creature. And I'm not familiar with it. Because it's someone I don't know.
But
Right.
you have heard of them secondhand because someone said that somebody has a fan.
Right, so they
Sure.
would get +5 to their save.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a very broad interpretation, but I count it.
I didn't expect
Oh my-
to need
That's what
their
George
stats.
Bush said with the weapons of mass destruction.
Oh my gosh, what if it's Gregory?
Oh my god.
Would explain
I think
how
it's
you
the
get
rock
around something.
lobsters.
You think?
They're still in Shikyodai.
No, didn't they leave? Or
They left.
They did leave.
Oh,
And they're right in the middle of that compass.
wow, that is fast.
Let's see.
That is
And they're
really
going to
fast.
Tlaze Cleodal next for their next big album, The Stone of Sacrifice.
Wisdom saving throw here. I am going to make it a private roll so that the name doesn't pop up unless you super succeed on it.
okay, they gotta get like a 1, I'm betting.
They get a +5. What's your safety DC?
Oh, man, I hate these
16.
question marks.
With bless, go ahead and roll 1d4 and we'll add it to your safety DC. That's how
D4?
we'll play that.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Make that the numbers 18.
Do you want to guess what they rolled?
Probably like a nat 20.
A total of 17.
Oh,
Wow! Wow! The dice
So-
be telling their stories.
Penelope would not recognize this person, but as she is describing a man of a human of Taiwanese ethnicity who has gaunt and stern and dark features and like kind of a malevolent air about him, and sweeping like necromancer looking robes, the people who knew Zachariah, or not, who knew Lucky Shore for the longest time would
oh no!
Yep.
begin to piece together a kind of a connection
man.
to stories that he lived out, that he relived in the Well of Fate.
This guy's a real creep.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a real creep. Yeah, he gives me like the heebie-jeebies. Just like feels evil, you know? You know when you just look at someone, you're like, I bet you're evil.
Yes.
He is a
And,
very evil man.
In the scrying scene, he's just smirking and waving the fan of Li Shun to give himself a little breeze.
Oh my gosh, and he's like smirking. Like, what a
Is
douche.
he on a boat or something?
Yeah, he's on a boat. Where else do you think he'd be?
I don't know.
On an
Is he
airship
flying on a
specifically.
cloud or something?
He's
Oh, he's on an
flying
airship.
on an airship.
Where the fuck did he get an airship?
Well, it appears we know who's going after him.
Airship team. Right.
I mean, it's a lot harder for the Seabound team.
I
on an airship.
think the Seabound team can fly.
Yarr, the Seabound team can fly, but only like 10 feet off the
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, it's
Oh,
very
yeah.
limited. It was limited.
They can hover, basically.
We could
Yeah,
eliminate the
hovercraft.
boat.
But, you know, I totally forgot that we could do that during the World Storm over here. probably helped. Anyways,
All right.
let's not ruminate on mistakes.
Okay, so treasure hunters, we're gonna go to Alcathians. Where should we send our ship?
Well, we don't need to send it to Taiying anymore. Sorry about that.
Should we start sending it to Penjahau?
I would
Hmm.
make for the gap of Arthacathiotl
Yar.
and Pendrahau.
Okay.
So you told me that we should investigate Arcathiotl regardless.
Do you think that's just where she's entombed, resting?
Who?
The god that we need to find.
Gozira.
That's her name.
Maybe.
Oh, it makes sense.
You made it sound like it had something to do with the fish people that lived there.
Well, maybe the fish people are protecting her somehow. Maybe that's why
Fish
you
people
needed to
are
become a fish person.
Merge into one giant being or something.
Maybe you're king of the fish people.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Some say I could be.
I think you might be a king, maybe not.
And then are we going so guys, like our team, are we going straight for evil laughing smirking guy or West Danica?
Do we even need to go to West Danica anymore now?
We need to go to West Danica because I really have a subplot I really want to make happen.
Okay.
Before any of that, have you guys tried to get a hold of anyone?
Yard. I think we should do that so we.
I
can
mean,
find
if we can get the information from Kennywoon, right now, we don't need to go to West Annika.
And we can have West Annika at the end of the day like a treat. Subplot can be a treat once we've gone to the creepy guy.
I thought we were trying to save the world here.
Flavor likes a treat.
Sorry, there was I had to be quiet for a second. I think you should let her have her little fun. I mean, it's the end of the world.
Sure you do.
We're trying to stop that.
Look, I think that it would be fun to go to West Danica and go to the library as much as the next guy. I think that sounds like a wonderful way to spend the afternoon. And you can do the same at your local library and support local businesses such as that. But
I gotta say, West Danica is also gonna exist after if we save the world. Like it'll still be there.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it
Isn't
would
there
save me
also-
from going home. I don't really want to go home.
Wasn't there a library
just
in
really-
Masara?
I mean, it's still going to take some time to catch up with evil smirking guy. You could nip over to West Annika first because you can just transport via plants.
Yep.
While the boat is catching up, do your research, do your little subplot, and then pop on back when they catch up.
Were you gonna message Kinawan?
I think
Yeah.
I see
Penny.
no downside to this. There's no downside to messaging him.
worst he can say is, "Sorry guys, I don't have time to go to the library. I'm fighting mind flayers."
Hi. Okay, hold on. Hi, Kenawan. Just
Long
checking
time no see.
in. Hope you're doing well.
How are the wife and kids? Question mark.
Hold on.
My
Okay, I'm at
lord.
like 15, I think.
Have you
Do
seen
you
the
have-
Game of Thrones?
A second to research Tomb of Gozira. Really important. I have 3 words. Love
Can-
ya. Bye.
I knew that was
Sure.
gonna be it.
I've asked him about how he can rip open a tear and worm space for us.
Also, should I cast the second one?
He responds to the first one. We'll look into it. Librarian can message. You will hear from her.
Well, they have their own librarian who's going to look into it.
Sounds great.
But
It's convenient.
like, it wasn't a guarantee that they're going to have the information. It's just like there's 3 potential places where the information could be.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't hurt if we had the extra time to also maybe do a peeky peek ourselves.
Sure. I think we could. There's going to be a lot of sailing time. I think we might be able to do that.
You do hear back from the librarian within the next hour.
Oh,
Oh.
never mind.
Penny doesn't say anything. She wants her West Annika subplot. No. I'll tell them.
Yeah, the librarian says the burial ground of Gozia is just outside of Arcathiodal. Kinawan wishes to know how else he can help.
Moriarty has his hands up in the air like a Y. Go need
A
to
score?
score it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So happy you got back to me
Wormhole.
so quickly. Is there a way to wormhole? Is wormhole's one word?
Sure.
Our ship
I think this whole thing's one word.
through the astral sea? That'd be dope.
Yeah, Kinawan will respond. Where are you currently? I can meet you and equip your vessels. We will bring the force of the Wayfinders.
We're at the palace of Shigeodai towards the new emperor. Come. We extend our hospitality.
Mm-hmm. On our way. Now,
Does he do the OOOWN or LMW?
What?
On my way.
Oh.
he's not hip. He doesn't know the current lingo. We're over a little bit. I do need to montage a little bit here. The Wayfinders arrive and their technicians are able to equip your vessels to
Hell yeah.
yeah, basically the ship and its occupants can plane shift once per day. Kinawan will explain to you all that the astral sea is really fraught right now. Mitsuka and the mind flayers. The mind flayers have gained other wayfinders as well. Things are bad. It's full on war in the astral sea. But the astral sea gives you plenty of ability to move a lot more quickly. And with the plane shift, it's not an exact science, but you can leaps and bounds speed up how quickly you're moving across. So, yeah, with all of that in place, from what I'm hearing, the treasure cruise intended destination is Arcathians.
Mm-hmm.
And the Flare Slayer crew, you've got Arcathiodal, you've got Commodore Zhong and the Fan of Li Shun. You've got Zugchakalku in Haikanalu. You do have West Annika if there's anything else that you need to do there. And you have Thousand Tooth Tom. And I will say, Penelope, I would also enjoy a royal subplot. I would like to do that, provided that the world is saved.
As a treat.
As a treat.
Save the world first, though.
Right.
I
Yeah.
guys, I was digging my heels and I was so sad. I was like, give me this.
I originally, it was in my original outline, and I just didn't see how I could reasonably kind of squeeze it in.
I was all for it until the second item burned.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, there are a few options. What is the treasure cruise plan?
The Slayers.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. Slayers.
Slayers, I think, we're going after Commodore in the fan.
I like fan to
I like
what?
fan.
Arcanthiel. I know how to say that word.
Are we going right to the body, or do we go to one of the other items, hopefully before it's destroyed?
Or do we meet up with Zugjagonku? Do we just leave her hanging? This is kind of her grand plan.
We haven't found the body yet.
Yeah, I just leave her.
We were supposed to let her know when we found information about the body.
Can we message her?
We can't, because if we message her, the collective will be able to listen in.
I thought she could disassociate for an hour or something, and they couldn't.
If she's disassociated.
Oh, we can't message her. She's disassociated.
And also,
if you figure out a code that you think she could decode that a listener couldn't.
We agreed to say, "Oh, Zugjagonku, I'm coming for you. You better run. You better hide." Something threatening, and that was the code that we're ready to meet up in Honolulu.
Gotcha.
It was very adversarial in Pindrao. We could just say, "Fuck you, Zugzoga. We challenge you, blah, 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 place." And that's our code.
Yeah, that would work.
Not the most discreet, but it would be effective.
Yeah.
You could certainly do that, yeah.
Calling around the mind flayer's way.
But it also has to be a place, because I don't think the collective has their mind set on Arcathiodal. So whatever we say has to be very, very, very far away from there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we get too close to Arcathiodal, they'll kind of have their nose in it. And I was wondering, Miss Emperor Tor, do you think any of your mages can maybe work on some cloaking magic? Kind of similar to what Zugjagonku has going on, so we wouldn't, they wouldn't know our moves.
I've met all these people for 3 days. I have no idea what they could do.
I'm just saying. Would my mages of Shikiodai be able to do any sort of invisibility spell for us, or mind dampening to keep us collected?
I don't think anything permanent.
Okay.
Okay.
Mind Blank is an 8th level spell. I don't think the court mages would have that, or would have items that could replicate that.
Sounds reasonable.
So treasures are going to Arcathians and then towards Thousand Tooth, and then Slayers are going for Commodore, and then either, depending on how that goes, either for the body or for the next another item.
Sounds
right.
like a plan.
And somehow meeting up with Zugjagonku along the way.
Or figuring out a suitably coded message to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like as good a plan as any. So we will set that in motion. So this is, as it were, the beginning of the end. This is the party gearing up for one final crazy ride into the storm. This has been Sanity Damage. To whom the sea belongs, thank you all for joining us on this epic voyage. We would love to hear from you. Discord is the best place to do that. You can go to linktree/Sanity Damage to find links to all of our different social media. Again, Discord is where we are the most active. And this show is a homebrew live stream. Our dice sponsor is FanRoll. You can get amazing dice and dice accessories at fanrolldice.com. Giant dice, misfit dice, gemstone dice, all of the dice. Use coupon code HOMEBREW for 10% off anything on the website. This campaign is dedicated to Brandon, who we hold in loving memory. And To Whom the Sea Belongs is a Sanity Damage campaign set in the Kaleidosphere. I'm going to say join us next time. And when I say next time, this is the update that I was foretelling. Next time is going to be quite a while. We're going to have to go on hiatus for some reasons beyond any of our control. So we're going to start the final chapter of Sanity Damage looking at January 2025. So that is quite a while. That's a long stretch, I know. I'm bummed about it, but I am really excited for what's to come. So, we'll still be in Discord and whatnot, and we will see you again in a few months. Take care, everyone.